This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
Hi, this is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Thanks.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here with me I have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
First off, happy Women's History Month.
You forgot the happy Women's History Month. It's been a hell of a 365 for LeBron, ain't it?
Yeah. So,
if he had told him on when he was doing that, when he was out here politicking big shit with Jenny Buss, that was gonna let him Luka Doncic. Do you think he would have, in his wildest dreams, would have thought that shit would have came to fruition?
Hell no.
Exactly.
Fuck no.
Bro, I still can't believe he's fucking Trey. Like, I'm out here watching Lakers games again. Like, I can't believe this shit.
Oh man, a lot going on. First, I want to give a big rest in peace to my dad. It's his birthday this week, so I just want to send one up to him. I played some tunes for him in the pre-show and all that. So his birthday is March 7th. So thought I'd say what up to him. He had a lot going on. In the last time that we did this show, John Cena has turned heel.
Yeah. Where do we start with that? Like, is that the first thing we talk about on that show?
Yeah, I would say so. Because, like, look, man, it's Elimination Chamber. Y'all know what those fucking matches are. Yeah.
I'll say this. You didn't watch it, but, like, the Zayn and Owens thing, like, that might be my favorite Zayn and Owens WWE match. Like, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I heard people burying that match.
Yeah. I could get if people didn't like the beginning, but like once they get to a certain spot, like it's kind of fucking awesome in my opinion. And if your thing is like, I'm not gonna like any WWE match because it moves at a WWE pace, then fair. That's fair. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be WWE. So, I mean, unless I don't know what would top that for WWE main roster match of the year, this year. I think that's the number. I think that's the answer. I don't think there's gonna be nothing better for the rest of this year in WWE.
Wrong words.
McAfee was, people like McAfee is like, he's grating, he's overbearing at times. McAfee, he may have been drunk the other night. He was bad.
I know he was getting mad when they were doing the Canadian national anthem, apparently.
I heard about
the national anthem, and the Canadians were booing it. Excuse me.
I heard about that. I don't care. But there were parts doing like, he forgetting people's names mid-sentence, forgetting like the next words and they're supposed to finish the sentence, trailing off and stuff. It was bad. Like, I know people like him or dislike him, and I think sometimes he's hit or miss. It was just flat out like he was technically bad at the job the other night. Technically bad at the job. I know Graves in NXT talking about this famous motherfucker took my job just because he's famous. It's bullshit. Like, even Graves, while bad, can finish sentences, complete thoughts.
Shout out to the Canadians for booing that slave song. I don't know why this has become a thing in the Paul Levesque era where we singing the national anthem at the start of this shit. I hope more people boo.
You want to be like the NFL, right? Well,
run it up.
Yeah.
Like,
did they sing national anthem at the beginning of UFC? Did they sing national anthem at the beginning of UFC? So I don't watch the beginning of UFC because them undercard, them prelims be long as hell. Them prelims be
starting at noon.
Right.
They start at noon.
Right. How the hell you going? When's the main event? Midnight. When is the first match? For what?
Yeah. Yeah, like even Vince McMahon knew not to play the national anthem. So like I don't know what their particular goal here is. But I saw the opening match with the women's joint.
I did watch that too.
And we got the return of Jade Cargill. So
yeah.
It was really good. This was actually my favorite quote unquote turn of the night. Or whatever, the way it was done. I thought this was awesome.
Did she turn?
We don't know.
I don't think she turned.
But she was wearing all black, and you know how they like to do the symbolism.
She was wearing all black because Naomi and Bianca were doing the Cowboy Carter all white stuff.
But she's never shown up wearing black in WWE before, to my knowledge. It's always been the silver.
What I'm saying is, I think it's
or red.
Well, I think what I'm thinking is it's supposed to be in contrast to the to the two that betrayed her in theory. So she's just going to wear the opposite.
Yeah. So everybody's. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I saw at finish my thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they got everybody locked in. The cages being Bianca, Bailey, Alexa Bliss, and one other person. I can't. Oh, Roxanne. Sorry.
The second best wrestler in the match.
Yeah, Liv Morgan is there, and then Naomi makes her entrance last. Then Jay's music hits, and she zips to the cage essentially, and big reaction for her. And she fakes like she's gonna beat up Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan's like mouthing words like "I'm sorry, it wasn't me," like something like that. And then she fakes like she's gonna hit Liv, and then she steals Naomi and just drags her, beats the holy shit out of her. And look, it ain't nothing to do an angle, Yeah.
So also should be the camera shot was to get Bianca's reaction in the chamber, and she out here
losing it.
She out here losing it in a way where it's like, oh, you did it. Like, duh. You clearly did this. Like, oh, damn, Bianca, why you had to do this?
So Jade beats her from pillar to post, from the window to the wall, slams a door on her head, gets a big reaction for it. And they immediately declare Naomi is eliminated. So that's right. Fake job. No pinfall was done here. So we eliminate motherfuckers before the match starts, even.
Look, man.
If you think politicking don't exist in this company, think about it like this, James. They put Naomi in there to drop the titles for them, and they put her in there to do the angle for her, and then protected her on the way out.
Naomi's gonna do the jobs on the back end when they do the Okay, so do we need to talk about the whole match? Or do we need to get to the angle?
The whole match is okay. It is what
fine.
it is.
It's not bad. It's not good. I think it's fine.
I don't really have much on it. I think I saw Alexa and Liv trading spots, and I wanted to jump off a cliff. But besides that,
the sad part is there is a clear difference between those two, and Liv's flat out better than Alexa. Flat out. Alexa came in there, and they proceeded to show her miss big sounding strikes left and right where she's slapping her thighs.
Yes.
It was bad.
Completely missing, whiffing. John Cena later did the same thing. So maybe it's an institutional thing, but
But John Cena's always been a shitty puncher. He's always been a shitty. Like when he's beating down Cody, he's like, look at these shitty punches.
I think that ruined the turn kind of for me. So, but we'll get to it in a second.
So yeah, man, it was just they were teasing that Liv was the person that did it all along. Liv gets the whole face like, it was, oh my God. Obviously, you mentioned, you fast forward through all that kind of stuff.
On the Shaggy.
So they stretching her off, and Bianca is out there just inconsolable through this whole ass beat on. It was like, you so damn guilty. You finna burn in hell. It's one of those. It's like, it's so bad. Oh, when you finally reveal to these dummies that they're like, oh my God, it was you all along, and she got to promote, I had to carry your sorry ass for a year and all that stuff, and then they go, you know what's gonna happen? Like, I don't know what the best part in your mind, right?
Bro, it's a very bad idea to make Bianca the heel. She should be, just because it would be something new for her, but it is a very bad idea to make Jade the babyface.
I don't think the J thing even matters. As far as, like, they're going to do the match, they got the program, whatever. I'm talking about after the fact, is like, Bianca needed a fresh paint, a coat of paint. And, like, we always talk about when it comes to women in the main roster, where it's like, all right, after a big show is built towards, and there's a title change, what does that person do afterwards? And afterwards, I imagine she's going to either turn heel in the middle of that match with Rhea, or quote unquote innocently win via some shit over some cheap shit, right? And then eventually she'll expose herself on TV, and that leaves her with, you have screwed over Rhea, you have screwed over Bianca, Naomi, and you have screwed over Jade. And by screwing over Jade, you have screwed over Naomi, because you left Naomi to be the collateral damage for all that shit with the rage of Jade. So, like, she has 3 opponents, and, like, 2 of them she has absolutely a storyline with over the last year, or built towards it. So, like, I think they built up nicely for her. And then, like, if you want to do the whole thing of, like, you reveal it now, or you reveal it at, slow burn. If you do a slow burn, you can have the part of, like, the intrigue of a rematch with Rhea getting her belt back after she loses because she got screwed by this Machiavellian genius. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, I like it because it finally gives, it gives me the Rhea and Bianca match that they should have, in feud they should have had, by now. And also, like, it gets to, like, Bianca is back in the single spotlight, and, like, she can try to help save these fucking pay-per-views, in theory. We'll see.
We hope if she gets booked for them, you know?
I mean, she has a better chance than, the men. So, black men, black women, better chance. It seems seemingly so. I don't know why that is, but it seems like,
I'm saying, like,
matches.
Black
men can't get a match on pay-per-view no more.
Look, I mean, even being a women's champion don't exactly guarantee you getting booked. Like you name those 3 opponents, James. It might take 12 months for those matches to happen.
But my point is,
3 of them.
Yeah. But them 3 matches over 12 months, them 3 matches will still be more than any black man will have in WWE over the year. That's not Travis fucking Scott, apparently. So, yeah,
amazing.
So yeah, like I mean, I like the match. It was, as far as I think the fallout is more interesting than, and also you have the fallout of seemingly Liv and Alexa Bliss, which is going to be like, buddy, if you put that on pay-per-view, because like they had Alexa Bliss seemingly had Bianca dead to rights, and then Liv rolled her up to get her out of there.
Yeah.
And then, like, the closest search between Bianca and Liv was actually good. So, yeah, like, Alexa Bliss and Liv, where Liv is clearly the better wrestler. Clearly the better wrestler. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, you know how they're like, yeah, there should be, after the Keys of Martian, there should be 2 Super Bowl halftimes. Well, you got Rhea and Bianca. If that's Super Bowl halftime, that's this Alexa Bliss and Liv potential thing. That's a whole other Super Bowl halftime. That's a halftime for motherfuckers that are just, starving.
So they did a tag match that I skipped. Sorry, I didn't give a fuck about that. I did not see Owens and Zayn part 908 between them.
Well, to be fair, in WWE, it's only like 59.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the men's chamber, I skipped the whole thing too. I tuned in right as the angle with The Rock was about to start or whatever.
You were like, skip the good ass match, get to the bullshit.
Fuck that. Look, man, I already know what these angles are. I know what these elimination matches are.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember. Like during WrestleMania last year, in the middle of the Bloodline Rules match between Cody and Roman, Jamie, our friend, texts us like, and they're in the middle of having a good ass match, the actual good wrestling. He was like, "All right, man, I seen the good wrestling. I get to the bullshit." Like, this is like, hey, man, Elimination Chamber with like all these stars and everything, and they're having a good ass match. Nah, you Rich is like, man, get to the bullshit. I want to see The Rock out here.
Yeah, so like, I was watching Collision. I was watching Collision. So like, basically what happened is I started the show at 7 with the women. Their match took so fucking long, and the angles and the entrances and shit. I'm like, 8 o'clock, I'm switching to Collision.
You watched this live?
Awesome. Yes.
No, Elimination Chamber.
No, that's why I skipped everything. But I caught it live. I caught the Rock angle live because by the time Collision was finished, I flipped back over.
Gotcha.
Or whatever. So Collision was awesome. I get back to there and I see Rock standing with Travis Scott in the aisleway, and I'm like, why is Travis Scott here?
To burn sage like, and look like
whatever.
Okay.
And then like I see Cena in the ring. I'm like, okay, Cena won, which, you know, and then I saw like clips of him and CM Punk exchanging just god awful strike exchanges, and I was like, this is very bad, but whatever. Cody's in the ring, wearing he's kind of dressed up just without the suit jacket, essentially. Rock comes out. And Travis Scott gets in the ring, stands in the corner, and we don't see him for a few minutes, but he's standing there the entire time. So Rock basically is like, "What's up, nigga?" Like, so you know, The Rock wants your soul, boy, essentially, and you know, he keeps applying the pressure that he was putting on. And are you ready to do it?
I don't know what it felt like while I was watching it. Right. It felt like Rock said the stuff he said the other night or the week before about it won his soul. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to do everything in my damnedest power to try to get Cody Rhodes to break. On pay-per-view in front of damn near 40,000 people on pay-per-view. The shit he was saying was so homoerotic. There's no way The Rock did not know that what he was saying to Cody was ridiculous, and it was over the top, and it was it looked like Rock was trying not to laugh too. But Cody was saying it dead serious, bro. I was dying laughing at this, bro. He was like, I want more. He was like, I want more than your mind and your heart. I want more than your soul. I was like, oh, what is this? And then he caressed him twice before he even started talking. Oh man!
Rock listened to One Nation Radio. That's the only logical conclusion.
So the stuff you said about Diddy last week, I won't go there. What I think this whole thing is like some Illuminati Hollywood weird sex shit. Like that him and Cena. This is like the I want you in the inner circle where we do the weird sex shit. But you got to give me everything. And everything, your heart, your body, so all that, right? He said no, go fuck yourself. And then Cody, and then he didn't know that like Rock and Cena have been trading DNA for years for like the last 5 years. He had no idea.
So Cena comes through with the white dap and gives him the white dap. Essentially like pulls him in close for the hug, and then all of a sudden The Rock is in the corner, and then you see the camera and you see Cena's face just drop, and then it drops in such like a comedically, like, bro, this whole thing felt like comedy to me, honestly. Like I did not get like the serious, like, this is a history changing angle, bro. This shit all felt like comedy to me. Like it was like bad comedy going on.
The turn was high comedy. This man got this man turned on WCW and then proceeded to get a mic promo from Gene Oakland, and then said, if it wasn't for me, Eric Bischoff would be selling meat off the back of a truck in Minneapolis. That was fucking hilarious.
That was unintentionally funny.
He pushed, bro. He came in there, ripped the shirt, slightly shoved Nick Patrick the fuck out the way, and then dropped the lamest ass leg drop on Savage. Some of these turns are all time unintentionally funny. This one just happened to be so too. Don't act like everything is high drama. That was awesome.
So Rock out here goes like, he does this over exaggerated slit of the throat.
Yes.
And then Cena basically nods, backs up, kicks Cody in the dick. The crowd goes insane. Yes. Because obviously it's like, oh, John Cena turned heel. I saw the thing coming miles away. Like when he went back up to him with the goofy dap, I was like, oh, he's about to turn. We're here. So Cena gets some brass knucks somehow out of somewhere. Eventually punches Cody.
It wasn't brass
hits
knucks.
Him with some.
It was Cody's watch that Triple H and.
Okay, yeah.
Michael,
that's right.
The thing is, you think it was brass knucks because Michael Cole called it that, and then McAfee had to be like, "No, that's the watch, dummy." That's the reason why they're using the watch, dummy, to get over the part where about the.
So. Cena unloads some of the most terrible looking punches in the history of the business. And from there, I'm just like, I don't take this as a serious angle. I find all this funny. But from there, they stretch this nigga out, and then The Rock lifts up the vest, and he pulls out the weight belt that he's wearing. He's been keeping hidden, and Rock's wearing this new Final Boss outfit where he looked like he's wearing bell bottoms and all this other shit.
Those are bell bottoms.
Yeah,
they're bigger than last week. They're wider. They're
they should get bigger every week.
It's like he went on Twitter, saw people saying those were bell bottoms. He said, "Oh, I'll show you bell bottoms, bitch," and said, "Make them like a third wider." Next week. We might. Next week, them shits might catch air. That's how wide them shits are if he keeps going at this rate. Oh, Rock's out his fucking mind, bro.
So he takes the belt off and unveils that the belt says Cody's soul on it.
Yes.
And underneath it says the date that Dusty died. It's inscribed underneath.
I didn't peep that.
It's very funny at this point. I continue the laughter, because everything successfully gets funnier. And then Travis Scott helps stretch Cody out. Cena gets behind him, and it looks like some real Illuminati shit about to start going on. But
the whole thing is like they finna hold him down and sacrifice him and fuck him. I'm like, oh my god, this is. Right, man. If this is on campus, they be shutting down the whole chapter of this fraternity. Absolutely.
So Cena grabs the legs, spreads them, and pulls them back. And then Travis Scott reaches up and slaps the shit out of Cody. I don't know if you caught the other angle of this.
I saw that on Twitter.
He slapped the shit out of this.
And Cody can't do nothing because he's too big of a star. But look, let that man get in that. Look, if that man has a match,
it's a receipt coming.
Look, if this was anybody else that was more less professional than Cody had every right in the world to lay one on him. Oh my god,
it's coming, brother.
You wouldn't have been able to do this shit to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Absolutely fuck not. You wouldn't have done this to Chris Jericho. No, Chris Jericho will pop you in the middle of the match.
Yeah.
And then The Rock whoops him with these belts, with the weight belt. And then I have a flashback to the last time I saw Cody getting whooped like that, which was
The Rock last year.
Yeah, The Rock was doing it last year.
And he's talking about the Wardlow and
Wardlow and MJF. Yeah. And then I'm like, this nigga getting whooped again, and then I see it, and I just find all this funny. I laugh the whole time.
Rich, every time that man gets whooped, I laugh my ass off. I laugh my ass off at the 10 lashes. I laugh my ass off at this. I laugh my ass off when he whooped him backstage and then did the fake work shoot shit about don't you mean the camera's off? He started whooping that man when the camera started rolling. He whooped that man after they went dark. And then I started laughing when he whooped him with the belt at that tag match at the end. When he tried to run off the ropes. Bro, every time this man pulls out the belt to whoop Cody's ass, I'm howling. It's one of the best things in wrestling. If he can get away with doing this every single year, I don't think he'll ever come up with a time where he can whoop and I won't laugh. I don't know why. It's just funny as shit.
EO apparently just beat Rhea for the belt on Raw, so they're probably gonna do a 3-way now.
Well, they teased that. They teased that. So when Bianca won, right? She went up the ramp, and Rhea went up there and held the belt out, and then EO just walked right up between them, and there's all three of them made the face. So they already. So that's what's the match. That's the match they.
Chat. Did she do a fake? Did she do a fake job tonight, chat? Please let me know.
Of course.
Big worse 4-way Alexa Bliss. Oh my god. I hope it's not a 4-way. What else you gonna do? Like,
what does she have? I don't know.
Yeah. So why can't it just be a one-on-one match? If so, I'm going to think of a reason why.
You know why. Gotta save the real match for later. Because they can't just have a match now. They have to do it after they're tag champs or whatever else for a year, and then they do it then. They'll do this shit in like 2027.
And they're gonna say it's a job that needs to be done, so we need EO to get in there and do it. That's what this shit is.
I don't think Triple H has a problem telling Rhea Ripley to do jobs. She had to do a fucking job to Liv Morgan of all people. Jesus Christ.
Liv never beat her clean.
Huh?
Liv never beat her clean.
Oh, so all losing. So wait, you're saying a job is just when you flat out lose? A clean loss?
The real way. Look, the way they've been making niggas avoid doing anything. You saw Nia Jax drop that belt?
I forgot. Oh, the cash-in, right?
They did a cash-in and then promptly move her over to another brand to never do the match.
No one wants to see that match anyway.
Damn. So yeah, John Cena turns heel. So look, the execution of the whole thing, I didn't find it particularly good or anything. I thought it was funny, but the idea of him turning is rather bold and brave, and I think it's pretty easy to fantasy book a heel John Cena because you just literally invert everything he's done in his career. You have him whoop R-Truth's ass, you change his music, you put him in a suit, you tell him basically everyone should give up. Like,
I heard something about like they trademarked the term Break-A-Wish, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I didn't see that, but I saw people.
Maybe I just got WWE sent-tailed. I don't know. But Rich, if they did a segment where he walks up on some sick kids and he say, "Fuck y'all," would fucking howl.
Yeah. And it's it's a bold choice to do for his farewell year. I think you strap him up at WrestleMania. I think Cody's gonna win. Look?
What do you think of the Michael Cole? He's like, why would he do this? And he's like, because he's holding the fucking belt and he's one from breaking the record in this company. You fucking moron! Like, how? What else could it be? He's holding the belt as you say it. It's like, god damn, Michael Cole.
Yeah,
I thought you were bad because of Vince. You're still bad.
So like my idea is like he beats Cody at WrestleMania and then Cody is the one that actually retires him.
I'd be fine with that.
So
actually, I'm following any of it. I don't care.
And then you line up, you do John. Like you have Cena hold the belt the whole year or whatever until the John Cena retirement show at the end of the year. You have him beat CM Punk in the summer at SummerSlam. You do an entire thing.
You do like a third Cena.
Got to.
Okay.
Got to. And then Cena beats him. And then you see if you can get Roman out the house, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Did you see the finish of the match?
I didn't.
Do you know what happened in the finish of the match?
No.
Okay, so Cena was about to go for a STF, and like Rollins had been eliminated recently, so he's out on like the elevated floor, the cage floor. So CM Punk goes through the ropes to avoid, like, because there's no rope break rules. He's trying to get to the cage or whatever else. And, like, he gets curb stomped. And then Cena drags him back into the middle of the ring and then slaps on STF and he passes out. Fake job. But as he says it, Cena says, "I'm sorry." He said, "I'm sorry" to Punk. Like, hustle, loyalty, respect, that's out the window. It's time. I'm about to turn evil in 5 seconds. It's like, bro, you said I'm sorry to CM Punk. Meanwhile, like, Dakota...
CM Punk opened the show talking shit about Cena.
Huh?
Yeah. CM Punk opened the show. You stupid? CM Punk opened the show calling out John Cena. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What the hell was that, John?
Exactly. Like... So, for me, it's real easy with Cena. You invert everything. Yeah. You pull his merch.
In Punk, that's easy match. Easy match.
Yeah. I don't think John Cena and Cody's going to be particularly good. Like, they're about to do... Like, because Cena's
Cena's been bad for years now.
He's so bad. He's so bad.
It's not even... I don't even think it's an age thing. I think it's like, he don't do this no more, and he was never naturally gifted at this to begin with. It took him so long to be good at this, that's like, yeah, he stopped practicing, and now that he's done practicing, he's just going off of just, I took some bumps to get myself ready for this. I'm out there, and it's like, he's like 08 bad.
So what he's about to, I think he's worse, because what he's about to do is he's going to lead all these matches now as a heel, but he's not going to do shit. And then, like, it's just going to be cheating and, basically a bunch of shortcuts or whatever, which is like, it's WWE. Who gives a fuck? But, like, he's about to, like, he's not going to be the John Cena that came out here and was like, yeah, I'm about to try to go for it. Like,
yeah, 2015 through 17, John Cena is not showing up. No.
Yeah,
no.
So, like, it's like you almost can't hold them to any expectations of a quote unquote happy ending, because I think people will be happy if he wins the 17th one anyway. And then, like,
they're already happy for him as a heel.
Yeah, like, I think Cody needs to come off of it, actually. Like, and then you could fuck him at WrestleMania or whatever. Who cares?
Well, my thing is this, right? If you make Cena the champion, the only person that can win it off of him will be Cody winning it back.
Right.
You can't, because if you do CM Punk, that match is going to be so bad. I don't think that match will be good enough, right? And then you can't do Roman because you've done Roman and Cena a million times outside of WrestleMania. That match has no, even with the dynamic change, I don't think it has any like novelty to it or like interest to be like, bro, we've seen this a million times. You wasted it on the semi-main event of No Mercy in 2017. The sell out of Staples, they're trying to help Staples Center draw.
Yeah, SummerSlam a couple years ago.
Yeah, like, it's over. It's over that.
Yeah.
So for me, like, yeah, I think that, like, I think you got the right answer. Like, the person that beats him for it, if he wins it, will be Cody. You give it right back, and then Cody moves forward until he gets to Roman, and Roman takes it off him or whatever. Yeah. Or whatever the hell they have, like, because
whatever they're gonna do,
because Rob might have another person to pull out.
So, that was pretty much everything from Elimination Chamber.
But I mean, in general, like, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I'll talk about this off before we start recording. Whatever. It's like, I think that's going to be the best match of the year in the company. Rich hasn't watched it yet. Rich said he saw people hate it or whatever else. Look, if you don't like WWE pacing matches, I get it. But I thought there was a stretch where I was like, yo, this is awesome. There was a stretch. It was just like, not even stretch, like the last half of it I thought was awesome. And then they just kept kicking out a bigger and bigger, more ridiculous shit. Kevin Owens was out here, like, going through an existential crisis where it's like, you forget how good he is when it comes to, like, the character stuff, like the facials, like the being in the moment, and, like, you, like, checking his reactions and, like, and everything. Like, when Randy Orton came out at the end, like, he made this face that was so good where it's like, I just went through an absolute war with Sami Zayn. I had to fucking kill him. I had to kill him to stop him. I'm worn out. I'm exhausted. I've been through a bunch of bumps on a table, on a chair with barbed wire. I took a fucking drop toe hold on that chair, on that same chair. Like, I'm half blind in one eye. Randy Orton music hits, and he's making his face like, he's like crying because he's like, I may die right here facing Randy Orton because he's fresh and I just went through hell and I still gotta fight this nigga. Like that Kendrick Lamar line, like, you ever had to run phase back to back to back?
Yes.
Like, he was like, I just ran like 4 phase, the equivalent of 4 phase, I gotta run a 5th? Fuck! Like, and it was just so, like, the vulnerability of, like, I know I gotta fight this thing and I know I'm gonna lose, I have no chance. And, like, bro, they went to square up to start throwing punches. That man just dropped him immediately. Like, Kevin Owens is still so good, bro. And, like, right now, I don't know if anybody would have a chance to be like, if we're doing, MVP or handicapping a Wrestler of the Year WWE award, it has to be him through the Royal Rumble match with Cody in this. In this match, I felt like kicked that Royal Rumble match's ass. So yeah, man, like, I think he has 2 4-star matches already, which is like in WWE, that's like, oh, you got 2 4-star matches pay-per-view? We barely let people even have 2 pay-per-view matches to get back to back. You killing it.
Yeah, so I guess from there we'll keep an eye on whatever is going on, big picture wise, moving forward. I don't know if Cena did a segment or anything tonight. I guess we'll find out. But
Rich.
Yeah, man.
Rich, I think Randy Orton's even bigger than the last time. Like, physically bigger. I think he's put on more muscle mass since the last time you've seen him.
Why does every time Randy Orton return, there's like some like gigantic angle that happens to make you like not remember he returned?
I don't know. What happened the last time?
CM Punk returned to WWE for the first time in 10 years.
Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't know that was on the same. I didn't know his first time coming back was Survivor Series. I totally forgot.
Yeah. So let's move on over to
last slide says, how's the unsanctioned match going on the third? It's not lights out. They don't do that. They don't do that. This ain't the territories.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what the whole main event structure is going to be. Roman Reigns still sitting at home. Are they going to do a 3-way with Seth? Is it just going to be Punk versus Seth? I don't know.
I think it's going to be a 3-way.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
I mean, and it's not going to main event. Maybe main event's night 1.
I think they'll get night 1.
Yeah. It can main event night 1. It's not main event night 2. It's not main event in Cena. It's not jumping over Cena and Cody. Like that. Like Rock. Look, Rock. Like Rock says, Rock has deemed what's going to be the main event of night 2. He has already deemed it. In reality, in storyline, and also behind stage. If The Rock is involved, it will main event night 2.
So, AEW Dynamite this week, hell of a show. So was Collision. AEW's on fire right now. Quiet things are happening down the card, even.
Yeah. Rich,
go ahead.
You would. I'm watching it. I've thought that they've had, some great television the last, 4 episodes of Dynamite now, right?
It's been like 6 episodes maybe of Dynamite and maybe 6 of Collision too.
Okay. Well, I don't watch Collision. It shouldn't exist, so I don't really, I can't keep my thing going where like this mechanic, it shouldn't exist. Like shout out, look, you know what made me be like, it should exist? When they go full on to the best part of Collision, when it's Collision. Collision is the real, okay? When Bandito's out there, when Commander's out there, when Beast Mortos is out there, when Hologram is out there, that's when it's real. When it's just Collision, I'm not too excited. Collision, yes.
Stupid. Bandito was tag with Hobbs this week. What a weird matchup tag team that I love.
I saw the piggyback spot. How was it?
Two strong ass niggas.
Yeah. 2 of the strongest men in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I saw people talk about the angle, the Cena turn, and then immediately talk about AEW. I was like, these two have nothing to do with each other. AEW has literally, like, after the last...
Bro, they went crazy on Saturday. Like, FTR and
O'Reilly
and Strong.
and
Incredible match.
do you think it was better than the NXT match they had during the pandemic?
Seeing as how I never watched that one, sure. I don't.
Okay, was it better than like 4.5?
I would probably say it's probably about that.
Okay, so it's on par then. Like, because that match was like that
Yeah.
was fucking awesome. Like that was when that was when they were doing the NXT invasion for Survivor Series in 19 when they put NXT over. Like they did that match on one of the Wednesday NXT's going against Dynamite, and that match was like one of the best. Like, you know, like when before the pandemic hit, and then the NXT went into iceberg, when like, bro, NXT's how they're giving you, you know, Cole and Riddle matches and shit like that, and Finn Balor's back and all that kind of shit, and they're doing like Leo Rush and Garza, like when they were doing good shows, like those are kind of matches you're putting on or whatever. Or but yeah, like so I already knew they would have chemistry, and like those are, you know, for my money, 2 of the 3 or 4 best NXT tag teams they've ever had. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they killed it.
Had Swerve and Clark Connors. They had a hell of a match. That was, I don't know, maybe went like 12 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
Swerve debuting a bunch of different offense that, you know, like power offense that I hadn't seen before. Clark Connors looked good in the match.
Have they put over like the like affiliation between Connors and Kidd?
Kidd wasn't really mentioned in that. This is kind of more like Clark kind of on his own. Yeah.
Okay.
So like Gabe ended up doing an angle backstage with Mark Briscoe, and it was excellent.
Oh my God, that would be a great match.
Yeah, they're gonna like they had a great pull apart in the back, and they were talking so much shit.
Okay.
What else did they have on there? That tag match, Bandito and Hobbs against Bill and Keith. Kenny Omega had a promo on there and basically was like answering everything that happened on Dynamite this week. So we'll talk about Dynamite here. We opened up. They were in Oceanside, California, basically San Diego. We had Hangman Page, I believe, came out. Actually, am I looking at the right one? Okay, never mind. Yeah, they throw a video up. MJF laying down on the table with, his lower bottom removed to show the tattoo. So MJF apparently, James.
Yeah, MJF listened to that Drake and Party Next Door. He listened to Lasers. Yep.
Sad state of affairs. So, Drake was out here talking about being unrelatable. Look, MJF, great, right there. So he's getting the AEW tattoo removed from himself. He said he doesn't care about the words AEW. He don't care about the words FAN. He cares about MJF.
What does FAN supposed to stand for? Fan?
Fan.
Oh.
Yeah, just fans.
Well,
I mean, I
Drake,
know what FAN stands for.
FAN,
freak ass nigga.
You're right.
So they showed Adam Copeland also driving up in an ambulance as Adam Copeland continues to do the every angle, every basically Hail Mary playbook world title angle he can do to try to give his match some juice.
People have warmed up to it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's better, but it's like, I don't care because these people are still going to show up and Willer Yuta has not been taken out. And even if they took all the people, there's going to be another nigga show up out of nowhere from WC. It's going to be somebody from WWF that shows up. Whatever.
So they questioned if Hangman's even here tonight. He drives up. He heads right to the ring for the match.
What do you think of the vehicle with the Longhorns on it?
Is that like a Tesla?
I don't know what it was,
or some type of.
It didn't.
I don't know.
It did not look like a vehicle that will have Longhorns on it, which I think is the point.
I feel like I've seen him pull up in that before. Oh, it's an electric car. It's a different kind. Okay. I don't know.
So there you go. That was the point. I have an electric car, but I have Longhorns on it because I'm still a cowboy. Ha ha ha. Yeah. I'm quirky.
Aaron Solo's in the ring, who we haven't seen in years.
When I saw Solo, I was like, oh, he's gonna get his ass stomped out again, too, just like Buddy last week.
Yeah. So, Heyman beats this nigga ass, continental, territory style, essentially. Whoops his ass out of his clothes. He ain't got no wristbands on, nothing.
No, he didn't.
Just straight fucked him up.
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, man, I can't, look, I didn't have time to put on wrist tape.
Right.
Only thing I got time for is to put boost asses.
Yeah. So Heyman says he hates running out of biscuits, and he hates when a guy with a leaky spray tan spits in his face. So he's gonna sit here in the ring until MJF out here drags MJF out here for the ass beating of a lifetime. So this nigga pulls a chair up, sits in the chair, and every woman on my timeline begins to send this picture out. I didn't see the show live, so all I see is this Hangman picture sent like 40 times on the timeline. They talking about titties. He got the titties out. That's what they're saying, James.
I don't even remember what he was wearing. Was it shirt off? His shirt was off.
Shirt off. Right? Yep, shirt off and the jeans, and he had the legs kind of spread out. You know, he was kind of holding court essentially.
Oh, okay. I didn't even. I mean, didn't even register because I wouldn't even think about it. It's like, but it's like he wrestles like in basically the same shit all the time. What's the difference? I don't get it. Whatever.
Hitting the demo. You know, like that man hitting the demo.
No, but I'm saying like if you hitting that demo, like the stuff he just wrestling alone, like fits the same stuff, right? Or was it because he was like heated?
I guess
it's because he was heated.
I guess he was heated. He walked in with it, just took it off. It was all a lot to digest for them. Did he just like the denim more than like the fake wrestling denim? Because that ain't denim when he's wrestling.
Maybe that's what it is. Does he need to start coming out to like Beyonce Levi's now?
Like he came out and did the quick strip. It wasn't like he had the vest on or anything. Like it was like, you know, I don't think they were prepared to see him like disrobe at that point. So
they don't actually want a cowboy. They want a farmhand.
I mean, you have to ask them. So
like no, they don't want a cowboy. They just want someone that works hard, that works with their hands on the ranch, right?
Direct this question at the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast.
I look. I thought you were going to say Tell Talk. I had a joke with Tell Talk. Like, I can't be asking Leah these questions. Now she's gonna be grabbing some ice. I can't. This last time I said James finally getting it. Yeah, so it ain't actually the cowboy. It's not the actual cowboy aesthetic. It's the just rough and tumble aesthetic.
A rough man.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I kind of already figured that, seeing that he's been wearing the Magnum TA stash for since ever. And the first time I saw that, oh, he's Magnum TA. Got it. All right.
So
no motorcycles though. No motorcycles. No.
MJF came out with a bloody towel in his hand. He gets a mic, and MJF, I actually liked the suit that he had on, even though he was ready for rain as normal. I like the color on it, and he it basically has a bloody towel in his hand. He said Paige is heartless. He's not fighting him right now. He doesn't even know if he has a prayer at Revolution even. In fact, he's going home to Long Island to train his butt off and get ready for the match. And then he comes out halfway through the tunnel to say, oh, I forgot to say why I was here. I'm worried about your friend, hey, man. You should probably check on him. And then they cut to Christopher Daniels.
Oh my God.
And little do we know Christopher Daniels is cutting too. So he's hitting himself in the head with the joint. And somebody fucks up. Someone should probably get reprimanded for this. And then CD actually, plays dead. And it's like, we just saw you, nigga. Like,
he was already bleeding. It took so long for whoever it was to get to their time mark that he had to do it again to get a good blood, but the camera director didn't see that he was about to do that again and cut to it, and it's like, oh, okay, so he's out here playing with his fucking forehead. Great, that hurt.
So yeah. Paige grabs his chair. He wants to know where MJF is. Calls the medics over.
Yeah.
After that, we see Don Callis hanging out with Kyle Fletcher with those glasses on in the upper deck of the arena. I got a feeling this nigga Kyle Fletcher is about to go crazy in this match on Saturday.
Yeah, he kind of does that on every pay-per-view.
Way good.
Yeah.
They showed a recap of Jericho defending the ROH belt against Bandito on Collision. After that, Renee...
Look at him promoting that Saturday show.
Got to. Jericho right there. Jericho ain't let that shit slide. Hey.
Hey, I had a good match. I know, bro, how heated, how hard do you think he pushed? Hey, man, let's get this on Dynamite. How hard do you think he pushed to get that bad deal match on Dynamite?
I mean, I bet Jericho was disappointed it wasn't on Dynamite. So.
I'd imagine so too. Like, ain't nobody, they ain't gonna believe me when this match happens. They ain't gonna believe me. They gonna say, like, yeah, man, I had a great match. You go, no, you didn't, Jericho. You cooked. You done. You been out here wrestling fucking hook, sorry ass. You ain't no good no more. I know, you like, please believe me. Please believe me.
Bro, all they gonna see is the aggregator sending out whatever Dave gave it from the newsletter, which was 4.25, and then like everybody be like, get the fuck out of here, fuck you, Dave. This is why Dave Meltzer ain't like it's going, you know.
Yeah.
So after that, Renee is interviewing Jericho. He basically talks up his match. Says he wanted to apologize for the way that she treated him last week. He wanted Renee to apologize, and she said, yeah, she wants to know how the match between Will Ospreay and Brian Keith came together. Then Don Callis and Mark Davis came out of the room behind them. Callis says sometimes you need to outsource your solutions. Jericho says this is a great way to prove that Brian Keith is a future champion and he has what it takes. And from there, we go to Brian Keith and Will Ospreay. I like this match because Brian Keith's entire theme got to play. Y'all got to hear me rap on this joint. So, I was on AEW Dynamite in a small way. But him and Will Ospreay get together and have a pretty good match here.
Yeah. They were not... something I've noticed with Ospreay of late is like he is not on TV. He is not right now trying to have the very best match he can. And I think right now I'm not mad at that, but it is like you can tell when he's, when he's trying to have this ain't exactly him coming in last year right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that's fine. That's fine because there's point to it. Like it's point to the story right now. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So they still did a bunch of cool shit in this match, but it was the part that I like was the finishing sequence where he basically got out of a Liger bomb. I want to say or Keith hit a Liger bomb and did the headbutt, but it ended up as a Styles clash. Yep. And then the hidden blade
through for a hidden blade on some it reminded me a lot of like that power bomb V trigger combo that Omega does. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. Except they actually finished the match. Like I like him beating people with Styles clash.
Yeah. After that, they did a pull apart brawl in the crowd, which was hot as fuck. Between Fletcher and Ospreay. Ospreay ran up there to get him. He's like, "Hey, basically, ain't no wall between us." And the security pulled him apart. We got a recap of Mariah May walking the dog with Toni Storm at Collision last week. Toni Storm answered her in a promo from bed, and their match at the pay-per-view is no disqualification, no count out, falls count anywhere, I believe. So.
Good luck, Cope.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna get to it at the end of this, but bad news. Back from commercial, Mercedes Moné basically was talking about Momo Watanabe. They showed a Momo Watanabe video package, talked about how she won the match at Wrestle Dynasty to basically get this match. And from there, Billy Starks walked up. Somehow she was next to Mercedes, and she ends up throwing a drink in Billy Stark's face and tells her to go fetch Momo. Billy asks her who she thinks she is.
Did you like how Billy Starks did the I'm ROH star like she's an NXT? I was like, oh
Superstar.
God. Yeah. It's like, oh, don't say that. Just They
could have gave her like a name graphic or something. Like, I don't know.
They could do anything but have her have to say that her name and where she's from.
What's your name, is? Shawty.
Because the thing is, like, it'd be one thing if, like, Mercedes didn't actually know who she was. She wasn't big leaguing her. But Bill was like, you're big leaguing me, so I'm going to actually say my name for the people that are watching this thing that we shouldn't be seeing. I was like, oh man, they used to take better care of stuff like this.
Yeah,
it's a small thing because ultimately, if she beats up Billy Starks, I'm assuming that means it brings Big Minion, or the leader of Minions. So
maybe
sign me up. Look, ain't too much. Look, unless they do something that just completely insults my intelligence, where I just cannot forgive it. Bring me Mercedes and Athena. So I'll live with it. I've dealt with worse. They get to a match I wanted. Trust me, I'm dealing with it right now in Stardom.
So Mercedes lists off her accomplishments. Billy basically says she knows who she is, but you should look out. And then all of a sudden, Stardom star Momo Watanabe walks up.
Notice how Momo didn't say, "Do you know who I am?"
Then she basically swings the bat. Mercedes drops the TBS belt. She does say, "I'm Momo Watanabe, and I want the TBS championship, and I'm going to basically beat you." Mercedes Moné holds up the belt, basically letting y'all know, "Hey, I know English."
Okay, so
I came here to practice my English.
She memorized that pretty well. So Rich, they're not letting her make contact with that baseball bat on AEW television, right?
I mean, she might do it in a match or something.
No, she can't do it here.
Why not?
It's a plastic bat. When it makes contact, it sounds like plastic. It's gonna look bad. It's gonna look bad.
Well, maybe somebody hears this show that works for the promotion, and
in Stardom it works because in Stardom it works because hate Oedo like they're evil, but it's like they're not actually like violent in that kind of way, right? In AEW, if she swings a plastic bat at somebody in a promotion that just retired Sting less than a year ago, or on the year anniversary of Sting's retirement match, it's not going to hold the same way. It's just not. Imagine Sting was out here beating up the NWO with a fucking plastic bat. That would not have flown.
I mean, he was.
If it sounded like a plastic bat, Rich, you get my point? Like, you gotta, let me phrase that. Triple H wasn't out here hitting niggas with plastic sledgehammers or rubber sledgehammers, or we couldn't tell they were rubber. You get my point? You know what I'm saying? Do you disagree? Are you just getting jokes off?
I think it's funny.
I think what I'm saying is they don't need that spot. It will only be a distraction, discourse wise, when the sound of that shit goes. Oh, she's carrying around a fucking plastic bat. I already know. And if you're gonna say, well, don't care about it, it's like there will be fans that are unfamiliar with her that will hear that and be like, this goofy motherfucker carrying around a fucking toy. Why do we give a fuck? Don't do it. It's not Orange Cassidy or the character is it won't work. It won't work.
I know what's going on here. I know what's going on here. I figured it out. James is protecting Momo Watanabe in Stardom from the Western discourse. I figured it out.
It's not just Stardom. It's gonna be people that watch this shit, that watch AEW, like, they have a fucking woman on here with a fake plastic bat. What the fuck is this? It's both. And look, in Japanese pro wrestling, they don't give a fuck. Like, look, bro, I mean, think of all the ridiculous things we've seen in DDT. We've seen people teabag each other, right? Online. On the clips of the shit. Like, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about AEW having to deal with the shit from people that are unfamiliar with all of it.
I mean,
because Mercedes gonna have to sell like she got hit with a baseball bat for a plastic baseball bat. It's not good. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be good. I'm telling you right now.
I remember bringing it up in the comments. Brian Alvarez was acting like she killed Athena in the dome with it. that shit did sound off decent.
It makes a loud noise, but it makes a loud plastic noise. It don't make a thud. It don't make a ping. It makes a clap, like a clamp noise. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good, Rich.
She got to go for the body. She got to go for the body.
Fine by me. Cause look, when she be hitting people like Mayu with that shit, it makes me laugh every time because it's fake. Like, listen to the sound of this fucking thing.
So Zach says she can trade the baseball bat for a coat to carry around. Damn it.
Right. Hey, I ain't talked to Zach in a long time. You want to come here and immediately bury Momo? Damn, man. Damn.
So we got the Murder Machines against the Outrunners next. And they're kind of setting it up like the winner is going to get a shot at what the hell is their names? Hurt
Fuck
People.
Syndicate.
Yeah, the quote, Tonal Talk, the Hurt People.
The Hurt People.
So they doing Outrunners getting their ass dragged. And they keep doing comebacks. The Outrunners were on ESPN. Some basketball team in Nebraska brought them in.
Yes.
And they played that
Omaha
shit on ESPN.
something.
That shit was hilarious. Yes. They were out here cutting these promos and shit and jumping on trash cans. I was like, all right, these niggas are hilarious.
Yes, they are. Rich. One of them, I don't know what their name. I forgot their names and which one is which. One of them is on purpose.
Magnum and Turbo Floyd.
Okay, no, I can't remember which is which. One of them,
I don't either.
Okay, one of them is purposely trying to look like Doc Hendricks era Michael Hayes, right? One of them is purposely doing that, right? That's on purpose. There's no way that's on accident.
So the taller one, that would be.
No, the shorter one.
Really?
He looks like Doc. Hold on. He
That's
looks
funny,
like Michael Hayes during Doc Hendricks on Livewire.
That's funny. Yeah, but these guys, they debut with new music. Mike Ruckus does it again. There's a reason, they cut that man a check. So shout out to Ruckus. I actually got a preview of the Speedball Mike Bailey music. And brother, one of two things is gonna happen. People that know what they're doing, like going for with it, are gonna go crazy, and then everyone else is gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" There will be no in between. So,
Rich,
I
just DM'd you Outrunner Magnum's profile. Click on that profile. Tell me he don't like Doc Hendricks, Michael Hayes.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, X-Truth Man. Okay. Oh, this guy. Okay. I mean, there's something to it.
Okay.
There's something to that. The other dude, his haircut is so funny. But okay, so that's Turbo that you're talking about, that James is talking about. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's Truth Magnum is the one James is talking about. Turbo Floyd is the tall guy. That's funny. So anyway, they escape with a win. After the music plays. And then they win. The crowd pops. I hear our Discord goes crazy. As again, I was not watching live, but we're getting the Outrunners versus the Hurt People. And
did you watch this match in its entirety?
Yeah, I did. It was just there.
Archer and Cage destroyed them. And then they won because the music got played. So what do you think is going to happen when they face the Hurt Syndicate? They're going to get their ass kicked again. And the match is going to be a non-good match, just like this was a non-good match. I don't get it. I don't get it.
So, it needs something. Look, this show is too good. They didn't need another quote unquote good match. Apparently,
I don't know why, if you have Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, you can just go out there for like 8 minutes and just fucking throw big people around. It don't need to be longer than that. And go shorter to where these big motherfuckers threw other big motherfuckers around, and then one person won, and then maybe you get a rematch because it was actually kind of close, or somebody won, not necessarily by finishing somebody, but by more tag team skill or luck of the draw type of thing.
I don't really get the idea.
I don't see the point of
Hurt-
delaying this match. That's the better match, easily.
I was gonna say I don't really get the idea that the Hurt Syndicate is trying to make it look close with people. So,
well, doing this and it clearly fucking those two clearly means they're building towards a match.
we hope.
Oh God. Well.
So Claudio Castagnoli is walking around backstage, not looking at the camera and shit, and then they show that he's hunting Copeland, and we go to break. Got back from commercial, got a recap of the feud between Ricochet and Swerve. Swerve makes his entrance with Prince Nana. Great reaction. He says this place is Swerve's house since the moment he walked in 3 years ago and looked Tony Schiavone dead in the eye and told him he was going to win the AEW Championship Gold. He said it's fitting that we're wrapping up Black History Month because he made Black History by becoming AEW World Champion. Kind of cool they mentioned Black History Month, seeing that WWE went the entire month without mentioning on TV,
when he said that.
social media, anything. So, look,
I'm sure it was just a pure coincidence.
I'll say this: I know Swerve is aware of the fact that WWE did not mention shit.
Of course.
So he said night in, night out. He didn't defend the title. He showcased it every night until All In, perhaps dropping a break from there. He said he's no one-hit wonder, but Prince Nana was right a couple weeks ago when he said it's been too long since the world title was his focus. Makes no mistake, he's still the man around here, and to prove it, he needs a gold around his waist. He said, but first he's got to right. He's got wrongs to right. Starting with a bald-headed bifocal idiot walking around wearing a robe that don't belong to him. Ricochet. Ricochet says he's a big. I can't talk right now. Ricochet comes out and basically says, nah, we done with that. I'm moving to better things. They're not done.
It's like, I want championship gold, baby.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Swerve said we ain't done. So yes, yeah. So he said he's done. The winners don't chase losers, and he has some, shots at San Diego. Says the Padres are trash. That's why the Chargers got the fuck out of here. Essentially, he's using the words like where he's saying "baby" and shit, which is fucking hilarious. That's an instant get over pass with me.
Yes.
He said he's chasing.
You think
gold
he's trolling Adam Cole?
That would be funny. He's chasing gold.
Because every time he do it, that's not what I'm thinking of. He must, because they're actually friends, but I bet he I say baby back there. I bet every time he pops the boys back there or some shit like that. Yeah.
He said he's chasing gold, something that Strickland will never be in AEW again. So he's not going to be facing Strickland again, and not ever. Nana gets on the mic. And he is awesome again, just like last week. He basically says he's got an offer that Ricochet might want to consider. And he said he had a talk with Tony Khan, and he agrees the fans deserve a rematch. All Ricochet got to do is accept it. He said TK said the match can also be for the number one contender for the world belt. Ricochet's like, fuck. He's like, I want to, I don't want to fight this nigga again.
Oh, you got me, you got me, fuck nigga. You got me in the box.
Yes. He said, give Nana what credit's due. That's all good.
All I got to do
He's like, all I got to do is whoop Swerve ass one more time. My ticket is punched to being a world champion. All right. Then he hits the aha. He accepts the match, but not tonight. He wants to have it at Revolution in a real city, essentially. Just 90 minutes up the road.
Right.
After Nana really gets into it, he pulls Swerve aside, said, it's good that you're focused on the world title again, because that's what he wants to see him go back to, being who he says he is, the most dangerous man at AEW. He took a lot of bullets for Swerve, and he lists all the stuff off before, saying that seeing Ricochet wearing his robe and his legacy, that means something to him. He needs Shane to fix his legacy and get the robe back, or he doesn't know if he can do this anymore. They promptly cut the camera quickly and don't let the moment resonate, and I'm pissed about that, but I think Nana did another great job here. And on the the list of object stealing feuds or like ring jacket feuds, this is way better than Bret Hart versus Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's almost like Nana saw the results of the Observer best non-wrestler and saw that he didn't finish first. She's like, "Oh, I got something for your ass." I did, yeah, and that's what it feels like. It's like, okay, all right,
yeah. He was awesome. So the big news here: number one contendership, Swerve versus Ricochet.
Right.
Ricochet got out of there last time. Feels like Swerve's, gonna beat him this time. Get that number one contendership and back in this world title picture.
Yeah. I also like the idea that it was like, ever since we got rid of those sneaky rankings, we can put Swerve back in here. He's lost every big match he's had since October, seemingly. Like we can put him, we can put him in the number one contenders match. Shit, who the last person he'd be worth for damn? Shit, I don't know, but we got rid of them. Well, we got rid of them damn rankings, so it don't even matter. It don't even matter. Put him in the number one contender. Do a rematch for the number one contender shit with a person that beat him already. Should Ricochet just automatically be the one contender? Damn it! I miss old AEW sometimes. Like I be thinking about stuff like that. Like they would have had Swerve out here kicking all sorts of ass for weeks on end until he got back to Ricochet to have number one contender match. Nope. Nah, just you lost your big match, you go away, and then we'll have Nana do all the work for you, and then you come back, and it don't matter because you already did so much great work that people love you. You can lose as much as you want to. We will still let you be a number one contendership match, and the crowd won't even think nothing of it. All right, man, fair enough. I want to see another Ricochet and Swerve match. I want to see Ricochet back in the main title scene. I like to see him get more wins on the way. Maybe this is the one when he gets back. Whatever. It's just Ricochet. Swerve is just so giving. He's so giving right now. They're taking
I'd be happy if they strapped up either one of these niggas.
Bro, they are so lucky they got Will Ospreay, Paige, Omega, and Swerve in this company that will go out here and lose a big match, and it don't matter. They're bulletproof. They are so fucking lucky. Not many promotions even got one of those guys. They got 4 of them.
Yeah, or else you have to be doing a lot of goofiness. It's. I think I give me either of these guys as the champion over Jon Moxley at this point. I think people are reading way into the main event thing. I think this is real easy. I think Mox, we'll get to it with our predictions and all that. But going forward, Garcia and FTR against Undisputed Kingdom. And as I was saying, quietly things are happening down card. James, do not look now. But there was also a Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole singles match on Collision that was excellent until the finish. Adam Cole, ever since he's gotten away from MJF and back in the gym, he looks like he may be reborn. James, you're muted.
Yeah. So I had to cough and forgot to turn it back on. But yeah, man. Yeah, like the Undisputed Kingdom, like with the Undisputed guys from NXT together, this is what should have happened from the beginning with them, but didn't. So yeah, it's amazing. Like those 3 just work together. They just always work together, and we're gonna pretend there was never a 4th. Never happened. I don't know. Is he in TNA? Where is he? Where's Fish?
Where's the lie? I don't know where he's at now. Maybe he's living a wild life. Raising donations for the federal government.
MLW, Rich.
Oh, the world of MLW never stops. So this ended with Cole getting a fall on Garcia in the jackknife pin, but lots of dope sequences in this. I saw FTR next to Garcia, and it's like, all right, they it's like, where does Garcia rank on the homie list for them? Like, does Garcia get an invite to the FTR birthday? Like, does he have to come early before everyone else shows up? Like, how early does he arrive?
Here's a
way
question.
earlier than Brett,
Better
right?
question. He's invited, but he's not allowed to bring any +1s or +2s.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. He's allowed to come, but I don't know if he's necessarily allowed to bring his other friends around.
Right. Dr. Larry, Danny wasn't even live when Brett was relevant. God damn. That's true?
What's your point? What is your point?
He's saying, does he even know who Bret Hart is? Nigga, he does a sharpshooter.
Right.
But yeah, man. After that,
trust me. This motherfuckers be out. Daniel Garcia be out here doing like Joshi moves, and like trust me, he knows who Bret Hart is. Nobody goes that obscure without knowing who Bret Hart is. I trust me.
Wow, he was born in '98. Wow. We got Harley Cameron versus Deonna Purrazzo up next. This one screams, get Harley back on TV and get her a win now, yep. God damn it. She debuts a new finisher, which is, I think, what people are calling like an overdrive or something. I don't really like it, but I think she should get a strike finisher, but whatever.
I do not remember this match outside of Harley winning right now. It's total blank to me. I remember the match not being bad, but I don't remember anything.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, it was fine. But like,
the crowd popped big when she won. And I was like, see what the Waka-ism.
No,
the Waka-ism.
She's not Waka anymore. She has graduated, James.
No,
she is. She is now Unagi Sayaka, James.
She's not.
She is now Unagi Sayaka.
No, my point is that the beginning stage of this starts out is like, okay, she's never going to win. I actually like her. I like her to get a win. Oh my gosh, she wins. Watch her get a couple wins. Like, remember when Waka got her win over Nanai, and then also she ended up in the fucking final 4 of the Cinderella like a month later? Like, that's how it goes. It's going to be more sustainable for her, obviously, than Waka's, but like, the Waka Mania will work. Loser baby face that's likable, has some, gets over, has some tough losses, finally wins, crowd pops. You can get, all of a sudden you start racking up the wins real quick. Like, they say they don't tell stories in AEW. It's a very simple story.
I forgot one other thing. There was a big brawl. So after
do you think she makes it back to Mercedes, though?
No.
Neither do I.
But after the 6-man, there was a shoving match, and then TK announced a TNT match between Cole and Garcia. Claudio and Copeland spill out of the back. They're brawling into the crowd. Claudio got the better of them, took him in the ring with Wheeler Yuta. They were going to give him, some chair shots. They were going to give him the concerto. And then all of a sudden, Jay White's music hits. And it's like, oh, Jay White's here. And then Copeland hits Yuta with a chair. Copeland's instantly back on his feet somehow. Like, he just jumps up after, being in concerto position. And then he takes out Claudio with a spear. Marita Shafir is then choking Cope, but she ends up getting taken out with a knee from Wheeler. More chair shots. Cope wants to do a concerto on Marina, basically. And then, like, Willow Nightingale's happy-ass music. Coming out. I was like, what the fuck? Like, bro, it was so funny. It was like, why is this happy-ass music playing right now? And then Willow comes out. And then it was almost like that Sami Zayn, what the fuck is that? Like, she comes out, does a concerto to Marina, and then they go to break. So, yeah.
No, the best part of it was like Moxie's face. Moxie made his face like, I didn't know that was, I didn't, oh no, I have no one that can help, help protect this belt for me. It was funny because it's like,
I looked at it as John Moxley saying, Will Nightingale coming to whoop my ass. Like,
yes, it was all that. It was like, oh no, like this, like Copeland has friends now. I was winning this numbers game. Now the numbers are even. I actually have to like when I'm married, I'm fucked here. Like, that was the face he made. Like, nobody's praying for me. Like, that's what it looked like.
Any men wish death upon me.
Yeah. It's like, don't worry, man. Don't worry. Yuta finna save you. Does Yuta eat 1 spear or 2 spears in the match this weekend?
2. They're pulling out all the stops. Like there's nothing Cope won't do to try to get this match over. They will look. They will bleed.
That man finna land on every grenade. Every grenade.
Bro, they're gonna go through tables. They're going to bleed. They are going to use a belt.
Blood rules match.
What's up?
Bloodlineism. Like people gonna start coming out of nowhere, out the woodwork.
Table on fire. Yep. He's definitely gonna do it.
Does Jay White screw Cope?
He might cause him to lose unintentionally.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
with the cash in.
Might as well bring him out too. But he gets thwarted. Yeah, they're gonna use every gimmick in the world for this. Yeah, it's good. Prepare now.
Oh my God. Dr. Larry said Brood Cook coming out. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I know I think I know who's finna be a hostage. They finna hog tie Gangrel. Why would I hog tie? Marina finna hog tie this nigga Gangrel and bring him out. Give up.
I don't know if that'll work though. Like Gangrel is a vampire, so he might, he had a fang.
Oh, cut this shit.
He'll bite through the tape, with the fangs. He will bite through the duct tape with the fangs. Oh,
bro, you finna see some off the wall shit in this match to make this work, to try to hold on, to try to compete with the action you finna see in the rest of this card. So be prepared. You finna see some shit.
They about to rob Peter to pay Paul to get up to 3.75. Like,
and the sad thing is, if they just had a regular ass match, that's how good the match would be anyway. But they know, they're like, shit, they got, damn, it's Takeshita and Omega. Damn, it's Swerve and Ricochet. Damn, it's bro. I thought it was like, damn, it's a no DQ Falls County match between Tony Storm and Mariah May. Damn, it's Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher in the cage. We ain't got a shot. We ain't got a single shot. We got to do anything we can.
So you were saying Cope, you were about to name all the names of the matches, it sounded like.
Oh, yeah, he was going through the list, and I got to fix this in the edit. But, like, bro, you got to go through the list, and it's like, he's sitting there thinking, like, damn, I got to deal with Cope. Sorry, I got to deal with Omega and Takeshita. Damn, I got to deal with Ricochet and Swerve. Damn, I got to deal with Mariah and Tony, and they doing a Falls County Anywhere no DQ match. Damn, I got to deal with Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay in a cage. They finna pull out all the sides to try to compete, bro. Them having a regular match and being 3 3/4, they ain't good enough. So they got to come up with all this shit to try to justify being a main event. This shit should not be main event.
Look, remember that gritty NWA match? They bet not try it. They bet not try it.
They better get their ass off the stage.
Yeah. Then we got the main event for this show. Orange Cassidy versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Buddy.
Welcome back, Orange. This was sensational.
I would like to know what it is about Orange Cassidy that make like the best wrestlers in the world, like the elite of the elite, like want to have these kind of matches with him. But whatever, bro. Takeshita is fucking awesome, and we've been saying that for a long time. But like, I don't know if it's almost like people may have forgotten how fucking awesome he is. Like, bro, that Slumdog Millionaire stop him and stop his weight dead and then into the Blue Thunder. Oh my God.
That's like one of the greatest like base type counter moves I think I've ever seen.
And it looked better because him stopping him midair didn't look perfect. It made it look more impressive. Oh my God. Look, man.
This is why this guy wins most underrated. It's like, yo, he might just like, he can walk into anywhere and be like, yeah, I can just wrestle as the number one wrestler in the world. Like, just, whatever. Like,
I was watching this match. I was like, he's somebody's world champion. And I ain't talking about fucking DDT.
Yeah.
Like
he's so fucking great, bro.
He's he's so cold of a wrestler, and I'm not talking about like the stuff that Ospreay does or Omega did with like the V trigger or hyper violence. He's so cold as just a flat out athlete and wrestler, where it's like he could be put anywhere in any era and the shit will work. He's just fucking incredible, bro. You can put him anywhere. Send him to Arena, Mexico.
I think he's going, actually, or just went.
I did not know. Bro, he'd be fucking awesome there, obviously. Like, anywhere. He's just awesome. Like, he
was just there Friday, apparently.
Okay. I mean, I might need to check that out, see what he was doing. Was he in the 2 out of 3 falls match?
I believe he was in the singles.
Okay.
So
probably. We'll see. Yeah, man.
Dr. Larry, I believe, has your connect on that. So,
Right.
But yeah, man, like this guy's like so sensational. Like, and he's in this cool spot, kind of like where, you know, he's working as a heel, but like he has earned like the respect of this crowd years ago. Like, and at this point, when you see him, it's just like, it's like in awe / respect. This guy, like, anytime he gets in the ring, and he wins this match.
The Omega match, the Ospreay match, the Kingston match, the freaking Moxley match. There's another match. Yeah, like he
Danielson match.
The Danielson match. Yeah, man, fucking awesome. Just fucking awesome. And like
Kingston.
I mentioned him before. Man, like there's just something. The first time I ever saw him was 2020, and I was like, "Yo, he's fucking awesome." And I only saw one match. I just know, and then like the part where like I'm seeing him in these spots is like, I thought he was fucking awesome off one match, and he's somehow better than I ever thought he was. Like, it's crazy. Like, he's the kind of guy where like, bro, I don't give a fuck about your storylines or none of that shit. Like, he should just be a fucking champion. He's going, like, what's the draw to him? His match bangs, nigga. That's what the draw is to him. Like,
nigga's dropping 50,
bro. Like, he's even like he's even travel proof. Like, there are people in WWE, there are WWE like first fans that you know, like Finish Show. He fucking loves them.
Mm-hmm.
He's just fucking awesome, man. He's just fucking awesome.
Yep.
And Orange Cassidy, he's right. He's one of the 10 best acts in the history of this promotion. He added another one to another 4 3/4 star match to the list. And you know,
man, like when you start talking about
he's the only person to have a kick-ass match with Moxie in this stage, in this run.
I would say when you start talking about like the best like TV wrestlers you've ever seen, it's like, all right, man, how long are you going before you got to bring Orange Cassidy up? Like,
I mean, if non AEW Dynamite people,
I think he's got them all cooked. Honestly,
I think the list would kind of be like some Bret Hart, AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels type shit, and then you kind of get to Orange Cassidy pretty quickly.
So, yeah, incredible. But yeah,
yes, Darby is one of the best TV wrestlers of all time. Yes, a lot of these like top 10 acts in AEW history are all time TV wrestlers. Yes. Oh shit! Did it happen
I'm here.
Again? Rich,
what's up?
Do you remember like when they were trying to speed last year, at the beginning of the year, the first week of the year, Takeshita and Darby were trying to speed run feud of the year?
Yes.
In 2 matches?
Yes. Yeah. It's that Darby Takeshita match was like,
was that better? Was that better than the Orange Cassidy match we just gushed about?
I think it was.
Same. It completely slipped my mind talking about all the great matches Takeshi's had in this company.
Yep. Yeah. Kenoza Takeshita also one of the greatest TV wrestlers of all time.
Yeah. He is.
All right, so let's take a look at it, man, quick, because like we got a couple other things to hit here, but yeah, as we mentioned, Jon Moxley and Cope for the AEW World Title.
Rich,
doesn't have a chance in hell.
Sorry, had to cut you off. Sorry. You say he's one of the greatest. the fucking Grand Slam Collision match was just like 2 weeks ago.
On TV, right?
Yes! It's a Saturday night! Who the fuck is this guy, man? He's incredible.
John Moxley versus Cope. No chance in hell to really be the best match, but I'm going with John Moxley here. Cope, I think your main event days kind of end here. Hollow.
Yeah.
How would they protect Cope in this match? What would they do?
Tons of interference and run-ins and shit.
Well, Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega for the AEW International Championship. I'm expecting a match of the year contender. It's Kenny Omega's return to AEW pay-per-view. Takeshita, we already know what he's about. And I think the belt's changing hands here. Because Kenny's kind of got destiny elsewhere, it seems like, with that. Yeah, I just think this is going to be a break the scale match. It's quite simple for me.
This match is going to be fucking awesome. This match is also going to be different from the match they had at All Out 2 years ago. So, I expect this match to be more rooted in the story of Omega, his diverticulitis, him returning back, the storyline stuff of him, his health, peril, the danger, that sort of thing. I don't think it's going to be the kind of exhibition that match was a couple years ago. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with different matches. In fact, my favorite match this decade is the match I was not expecting from Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. So yeah, I expect this match to be more towards that. More could be very heated. Yeah, I expect this match to compete for best match of the night.
We're gonna say that a couple times.
Somehow,
we're gonna say that a couple times. Toni Storm versus Mariah May, singles match for the AEW World Women's Championship. Falls count anywhere, no disqualification. I guess we're going with Toni Storm here. I don't think it would really make much sense to put it back on Mariah here. Presumably the Hollywood ending, they're calling this, the end of this storyline. And I gotta say, I'm happy the belt can go into another, have some other people start competing for it too, because it's all been locked up in this thing. Even when other people were challenging for it, you kind of knew nothing was happening. So, yeah, let's wrap it up then. I'm going with Toni Storm.
Yeah, I expect this match to be great. I think this match will be better than their match in Australia. So yeah, I think this match.
Double juice.
Say again. Will it be juice? Is what you're asking me?
Double juice.
I can see that. It's gonna freak out some people.
Yeah, they should really make it a bloodbath.
They finna go out there and have a match that be as physical as 4 from the top in the Storm pay-per-view, and it'll be like, oh my god, they're bleeding. All right, but I still think it'll be a great match.
Tag team match for the AEW World Championships, Tag Championships. The Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners. They're not crazy, so the Hurt Syndicate will be over in very strongly, I would imagine.
Look, man, there are a few things that can happen on this show that would get worse reaction than the Outrunners beating the Hurt Syndicate. There are a few things that will be shouted down and booed, howled at, jeered.
Any chance the Young Bucks saved them from after they getting their ass whooped after the match?
So we were evil. We went away. We come back. We're baby faces. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
You're gonna be teaming up with Omega in the Scapegoat and your baby faces. Remember when Jack Perry was come back being babyface while with Okada and the Young Bucks, and they turned him heel. Remember that? Oh boy. I mean, I don't know, man.
How much of Jack Perry's career would have been saved if they did my idea and actually just made him a babyface and like came back basically just like he was actually wronged and fired up and cutting these promos, you know.
I think Jack Perry's career would be off in a lot better place right now if they never aired that footage ever. If they left it the fuck alone. They decided not to, and he came back and he beat up Tony Khan, which got a pop. And then decided to join the Young Bucks and Okada, who were heels. After getting a pop. Because he was right, he was scapegoated. It's almost like he was sabotaged.
You know, by the Booker. Who was upset.
Right.
That he had to fire his friend.
Right. Fuck.
Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. I think this is a great candidate to open the show. You know,
WCW would open with the show on a pay-per-view.
Do you think Momo will get it done, like as far as like in the single spot in, you know, on pay-per-view in America here? Like,
yeah, why would she?
You know, sometimes like I don't know, will our offense like, you know, come through the screen? Will the kicks like, you know, really go there? Will Mercedes be like, hey man, give me this shit?
I don't know about. I mean, Mercedes don't really kick like that, but yeah, it'll work.
Oh well, I'm saying like, will Mercedes be like, hey, you can kick me like this, like it's okay?
I don't see why not. She let Mayu dot that forehead a couple years back.
Yeah. So, I'm interested to see how the crowd takes to her, because like it's not like Momo's not. She's not Julia getting in the ring. Let's say that, and she's not like
she's better than Julia though,
or anything.
She's just not as charismatic as Julia.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of hey, just how good are you? So
I mean, you know, this will be the test.
She's awesome.
If she hits her if she snap Mare's hair and she goes back there and kicks her in her back like 3 times, we'll see. If that happens or start the match, the crowd will be into it. We'll be like, oh my god. It sounds like she got hit with a baseball bat. Not that plastic bat also, but her leg sounds like, the thud sound like a baseball bat shot. So, yeah, we'll see. But either way, like, the match will work because those two are very talented, and then it'll be, bro, over under 5.5 Meteoras / tomatoes.
Oh, I'm going over.
I can see that. I can easily see that. They finna be in there. If they get 10 minutes, they finna go in there band for band with Meteoras. It's gonna be great.
I like the Mercedes Moné strategy of like, hey Tony, will you just like pick somebody or whoever I pick? Will you just bring them in so I can wrestle them?
Yeah. You
know, it kind of works for me. Like
it works for me too. Like, hey, if I was paying her that much money, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Outsourcing jobs. Hey, instead of beating on Willow and Statlander left and right, we can beat on some people that, you know, ain't on TV every week that we trying to present and push.
Singles match to determine the #1 contender for the AEW World Title: Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. Another match that's gonna be out of this world.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going with Swerve here. These two have, you know, this has done a lot for Ricochet. This has been open heart surgery that Swerve has been performing on Ricochet's career. Ricochet had something to run with after this, I feel like, and Swerve aim back at the belt. You know how I see it.
Yeah, I expect this match to be great. And this is like the part where I'm just saying, like, look, man, all of these matches, like, or these top matches, like, they've had some real build to them, and like, it kind of puts on display like the kind of work they've done in the last like month and a half with the television to get this shit to this point, because it was looking bleak, in early January. It was. So this is one of them. Definitely one of them where like they built towards this. They built towards this even dating back to, before World's End. Like going back to like the C2, So yeah, this is a success. This is an absolute success. And I commend both of them for it. Well, actually all three, including Nana. Huge success. While shit was going rough, this never did.
Yeah. Yeah, this shit was hot from start to end. I'm interested to see if they do kind of like some, like call back to the finish of the last match. How Swerve got caught in that, he got caught basically in the counter to the Swerve stomp by the accidental low blow to Swerve like wear like a cup this time or something, and then he tries it again. Then he's basically like, that ain't work this time, essentially. And then they do the next part of the match from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say knowing Swerve, like that's gonna play in at some point, but that'll be for a near count, and then like they'll continue on like another 3 minutes. I said knowing Swerve like I know Swerve. I mean, like this person that's watching enough Swerve to know where he his big kickouts come from. That's some up his alley.
Yeah, I think
because you'd be like, that is clearly the finish. Like, nope, big kick out. Everyone's blown. Huge, big kick out of the night, and then continues over another 3 minutes.
Last eyes Rich, how are we jumping Nana if he betrays Swerve? I mean, if he betrays Swerve, he's not getting the road back. So, I don't think we got to worry about that.
Earlier point, he's like, bring in Maya. I want to see that again. Look, both of them are in a no jobs situation right now. Both of them.
Maya's had that belt so long, bro, and she has it for one reason.
Right. She has that going on her, and then there's also the Mercedes. Like, look, it is flat out booking malpractice. If her first loss is not in AEW, so there's also that too. And then Wasabi King said, "It's charity work if Momo gets paid in USD." Oh my goodness, y'all are a trip, man.
So up next, another match which could be match of the night: MJF versus Hangman Page. This is gonna be. Look, as long as we get a clean ending from these gentlemen, because we know MJF.
I'm sorry, what?
Look, MJF likes some bullshit. I just hope nobody debuts to help him beat this man or something like that.
Not gonna finish. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, bro. This is the fourth. This is in theory like the number 4 match, as far as like expected, like as far as like highest over under you could put the star rating. This is number 4. That's impressive. You like you think of all the outcomes between like all the matches on the card. You'd be like, this is a match that you expect to have like the 4th highest potential of, being an all-time match on this card. That's impressive. That's an impressive card. This could be one of the greatest shows of all time.
Bro, this yes. I don't know if we said it like on paper, like, this might be the best AEW pay-per-view there's ever been.
Yeah, especially when he's like, okay, so the 2 women's matches are Mercedes Momo Watanabe and Toni Storm and Mariah May in a bloodbath match potentially. Like the match we're worried about as far as being like the second worst match in his card potentially is like, it's Adam Copeland and John Moxley. What? No one's shocked that they have a 4-star match at all. We're disappointed in the part where this is even a title match.
Right.
Like, yeah, absolutely. This could be an all-time show easily.
This might be like...
This could be show of the year very easily.
Like, not just show of the year. It's like, hey, man, like when we talk about defining shows in the history of a company, like this is like, they rolled out WrestleMania 17 and then, it was... like that, like, and AEW has like a few of those. Like this could enter that class. Like
they have a number of shows better than that, but I get what your point is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hangman and MJF. I think look, we know MJF's going to be motivated to have a great match because if you have a bad match with Hangman,
does he know he will not have an hour?
Someone better tell him. But you know, no one's blaming Hangman Page if this shit don't go off.
Not a soul. Not a soul.
It's on you, Maxwell.
Yep.
Figure it out, sir.
If you come out here and you are closer towards the John Moxley and Cope territory than you are the Swerve and Ricochet territory or the Takeshita and Omega territory, it might be some time. It might be time for you to go home and reevaluate things. This might be
again, right? And then to top it all off, James, a Steel's Cage match, brother, between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, who have had like great matches already.
One of the more underrated feuds in the history of pro wrestling.
They are psychopaths, both of them. Will is somebody's getting their head bust for sure. Will Ospreay on pay-per-view is like unmissable. Damn near.
Who thought it was a good? Who is the maniac that thought it was a good idea to put Will Ospreay in a cage?
Yo, it's gonna be great.
He is out of his mind in a normal ring. Who knows the kind of ridiculous shit he's thought up over the years between cage matches in his life.
Celebrating 1 year officially in the company with this show. So after a year has passed, maybe we can get the world fucking title on him now and people won't cry and soil themselves when it happens. Hopefully. So the countdown is on. Let's just say that. So I think Will's going over here and this is going to be one of the greatest matches in history of pro wrestling. Or greatest cage matches in the history of pro wrestling. Let's say
okay. That. I thought you'd be like, this is immediately like, 6 stars. Like, damn, you putting the over under 6 stars on them? You putting that kind of pressure on them?
Have
we responsibly done that to a match since like Swerve and Danielson? Where it's like,
I remember that. I was like, Swerve and Danielson is going to be one of the greatest matches of all time.
We were both like, they were like, bro, like we were like, I don't know what the fuck Danielson doing. Like, I know it's going to be one of the greatest matches of all time, but like, can he help out in this build of this match? It's like, what the? And we were right.
One Nation Radio.
What is this company to where they can do these kinds of things? Where like, man, like I don't really feel it. Like I know it's going to be one of the greatest matches I remember until I'm gray and old, and and have no more life. But yeah, man, this is what this company's like spoiled us with over these almost 6 years. It's nuts.
Like the last cage match they did with Swerve and Heyman at All Out, and that's a high standard right there. And I don't think you can pick two better guys to try to challenge that, or even do it in their own unique way. So, what a fucking card. I wish I was there going to LA. I'm not, sadly, but it's in Staples Center, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Usually they're in the Forum out there, so debuting a new building for AEW, and
man, this show's gonna be awesome. Like you mentioned the Young Bucks or whatever else. Like I can't imagine they would do a pay-per-view in LA and then they're not there. Like make it to do something. That would be shocking.
Yeah, it would be shocking for sure. Trios match on the pre-show: Big Boom, AJ, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe against MXM and Johnny TV. So Big Boom has already been shuffled off the trios.
I mean, I'm sure
Caleb
will try to talk me into watching this. I mean, I guess I'll give it a shot. My issue with AJ, it wasn't like AJ. It was like, why is your boy back?
Big Boom?
No, he faced him.
QT?
Yeah, why is QT Marshall back? Like, that was my only issue. So, I'll check it out. Why not? It's Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe.
Yeah. Maybe Gabe Kidd comes out or something. I don't know. But he did AEW this week, and he was great. So this nigga's phenomenal, bro. He's hilarious. So Tam Nakano and Sai Kamatani had a match in Corkin Hall. I don't know how long it was. It felt like it was like at least 25 to 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So what's the storyline going into this, James?
The storyline plays off of what happened at the Sumo Hall show at the end of the year last year, where basically ever since Kamatani turned heel, Tam is like, look, big sister, like, I just can't believe you ended up like this. What the fuck? Kamatani historical track record is like Kamatani has Tam's number at all times. I think Tam's beaten her or pinned her once, and then like Kamatani has won or has beaten her every other time, something like that. Like it's a whole bunch of wins versus a very few wins in Kamatani's favor. At the Sumo Hall show, the match was a play off of the the night one of the Grand Prix from 2 years ago, where she got hurt. She dislocated her elbow, where she takes a fall, she takes a tumble, she grabs her elbow and sells it. Tam's like, fuck, like, not again, not like my former protege is hurt again. And then like Kamatani took advantage and won the red belt by duping Tam. So Tam wanted a match, just waiting for the title. It was a match where it was like, I'm just at my wit's end with you. Like, I wanted the match, and then Kamatani, and I think the rules were like, she had to win a trios match. When then Tam won it, and then like, it was like, I make my rules. The rules was like, loser leaves, stardom. So then they had a match in Corkin Hall today. Like, I think the Corkin Hall match, but a couple weeks ago, I think determined the rules for it, or 1 or 2 weeks ago, but the match was loser leaves, stardom. And of course, given the timeline of where we are in the year, and also given the fact that like, we just saw them send off Utami and Julia to her heroes goodbye as they go to start a rival promotion. They're not sending Tam Nakano or Saya Kamatani out on their ass with a loss like this. That's not how Stardom works. So I'm just like, You're pretending like I don't know how you guys operate for all these years. So you're doing a match where like whoever gets sent out is coming back at some point. Why even do it? So I've had my thing of like, okay, so I know it's gonna happen. Tam's gonna lose, and then like she's gonna get brought back somehow, and then she's gonna be main event fucking Yokohama Arena against Kamatani. It is like, what's the point of doing this? So, yeah, man, like, I haven't watched the match yet, but I already know the result because, like, the result was obvious second you booked that match. What she had to do.
So, as far as the match, like, I thought this was, like, one of the better matches between these two I've ever seen. It turns up in a way in the second half where you're like, oh, they're actually, like, doing, like, like, one of the big matches of the year level, style working in there. Just like after the Tiger suplex off the second rope, like it just, like the gas on this thing goes like through the roof with as far as like people kicking out at one, no selling stuff, slaps in the face, kicks, different stuff like that. And then like the Bloodline Rules match starts, and there's just so much interference, just out of this world level interference. And it's just like I knew about the interference that was coming, but like
the work
before
it's hate.
Yeah, the work before it was so fucking good. Like, and some of the interference was set up really creatively, especially in the beginning of the match. It was like a drop toe hold, or Tam was running the ropes. What's her name? What the hell is
Tekla,
her name?
Natsuko.
Natsuko grabs a foot, and she immediately falls on her face and then gets hit with a sliding drop kick from Saya Kamatani. And it just like, I like how they were doing this. And it's tough for me to really like Saya Kamatani as a heel as much as I do her as a babyface. But, they were bringing it. That just outrageous levels of interference though. Somehow Natsupoi ended up with a literal blue face out here.
I saw that. I saw that when I saw pictures of her like crying as Tam is getting sent off, and her face is blue. I was like, "Why is her face blue?" I was like, "Oh, she probably got misted."
Yeah, so like just more niggas on this, running this match in the lean back remix, the Wu Tang, just overrun with copious amounts of interference.
They got like 9 of them, 8 of them, something like that. Yeah,
and it was all getting thwarted. Like people was coming out to fight them. Yeah, look, it was motherfuckers running out the stands, probably, in between that, couldn't tell. This thing all kind of culminates where Kamatani basically pulls Tam back. Tam got this look like, please don't kick me too hard, essentially. Sai basically kicks her face off and then pins her.
I saw the very end. She hits her with the Star Crusher, and then like she gets her up for like her version of Kamigoye, whereas instead of it's the knee, it's a big boot. Yeah. And Tam's face is like, I have nothing left. There's nothing left. I just end it.
So like I'm like, okay, is this is a Leave Stardom match? So whatever happens there, and I've learned they've already booked Yokohama Arena April 27th rematch between Tam Nakano and Saya Kamatani. It's like one more chance, and I think it's a retirement match. Yeah, you didn't get this part?
No, I turned it off. I only saw like. I only tuned in and be like, all right, well, I already know who lost. Let me see it. And I don't have a chance to watch the full match yet. And I just clicked over to watch like the very ending of it and turned it off.
So like what I was gathering, like Saya's basically decided to grant Tam one more chance at it.
Why?
And I think it's a retirement match. Like, give me a second. I'm just going to like double check that. Hold on.
Like, but the whole thing with all this Tam and Kamatani stuff has been like Kamatani always beats her. Like, why are you getting another chance? It's like, remember like the Gargano stuff with Andrade?
Okay. So it is a career versus career match against Saya Kamatani. And I know Velcage was saying he's going to be there in person. He's won. He's going to see Tam Nakano's last match. This instantly made me nervous that it's not actually Tam's last match. It's going to be Kamatani's last match.
That would be shocking. She's hot as fish grease right now. She's at worst the hottest. She's at worst the second most popular person in the company right now.
People retiring Joshi all the time. We can't protect these people.
That's absolutely true. But like how do I say this? The idea that to me, I think this means Sam's retiring, and it sucks that I ain't got the money to go. Send her to go watch her last match, but I think that Kamatani sent her away again. If this is in fact retirement, now if this was like the last person, whoever loses leaves Stardom, be like, well, I guess it means she's going to Marigold then. But
yeah, this is
if it says career versus. I think Tam's retiring finally.
Scotty Wrestling says career versus career, so. Not a lot of ways you can get out of that, but they don't seem to have a problem walking back any stipulations. Tam has been taken off the website as far as being listed with Cosmic Angels. It's just Natsupoi, Anu, Mizumori, Sakura, and Kuraka, or not, Sayaka, Kurara, or something. Yeah. So, whatever match they do next time is probably going to be even better than this one. I would say check it out. It's free on YouTube, and it's a 47-minute video file. Doesn't last the whole time, but like if you are someone that doesn't
post-match.
Yeah, if you're someone that hasn't really watched Stardom or something, I would say check this out because like the work is so high level that even the interference will not bother you, especially if you know it going in.
Do you know what it's sitting down on Cage Match right now?
No, I haven't looked at Cage Match.
It's over 9 right now.
Wow, even with the interference, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that reflects the very high level they were going at. But yeah, very nervous. I don't think. Look, I don't think this is no walk in the park. Like like you can't just case close this thing.
Honestly, I don't want either one of them retire. But like, I mean, Tam turns 37 next month, Or I'm sorry, not next month, in what's the day? In like a couple weeks. Like B Priestley, Momo Watanabe, and Tam all birthdays all on March 22nd. That's why I remember the birthday. So like, yeah, she turns 37 in a couple weeks. She's been wrestling over since 2016. She's had some brutal fucking matches. It wouldn't surprise me if she retired.
I mean,
I thought there would be a retirement tour for her, but I didn't. But whatever. This is, is she gonna get this big show? I got the two biggest draw. I got the two biggest. I get main event the two biggest shows in the company's history. If she goes out that way, that's a hell of a send off.
I mean, Aja Khan 54. She's still going. Tam need to soldier up. This sound like tough matches. Fuck that mean.
Now, see, this is the thing, right? You never saw Tam Nakano, even in early 2018 to be like, oh, I can't believe she even turned out to be a good wrestler alone. A motherfucker that's reeled off a bunch of 4.5s over the last half decade. So like what I'm saying is this, right? You've seen Aja Kong run the ropes before in the 90s, right?
Yes.
That is a freak athlete. Tam Nakano is not. So yeah, man. It ain't in the cards for Tam Nakano the way it was for Aja Kong. Just wasn't. It wasn't even supposed to be this good.
When does Aja Kong come wrestle Mercedes?
Oh my
God. Can I have it, please? I should have mentioned this to her when I talked to her. Hey, can you wrestle Aja Kong for just me, please?
Just for me.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Thank you, Mercedes.
If you do that, then like, what would like Rikishi then say about like the best black female wrestler of all time being Naomi?
Hey, man. Rikishi be saying shit.
Bro.
That's just.
I saw that. I had about like 3 or 4 like quote tweet jokes, and I was like, you know what? It ain't worth it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because I was like, what are the odds that I'm the first person to get to this tweet and I tweet out she ain't even the best black female tag or person in her own fucking tag team. Like, there's no way I want to be the first person to get to that. So I'm like, nope, can't even get to that. Leave it alone. You got it. You got it.
Well, up next, James, you got the stuff about the NBA you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so Anthony Edwards, a week or so ago, he was asked about, want to be the face of the league, and he's like, nah, I don't be face of the league. Why I do that? Like, that, I'm good. And then somebody...
Not wanting to put a target on himself, I would imagine.
Right. And his natural answer was like, nah, man, I just want to hoop. Like, obviously, huge Kevin Durant idolizer, right? Like, so he's in that camp like, I want to hoop and go home. If I talk to y'all, cool. I don't need to. For me, that's fine. Whatever. Like, not everybody's just because you're the best or one of the best players are the best player means like you need to be the face of the league. Like, Tim Duncan was never the face of the NBA. It never happened. Right? Like, that's the thing. So for me, I was like, okay, cool. So then they asked LeBron about it, and LeBron was like, yeah, man, like, I see what he's saying. Like, it seems like the guys get shitted on in a way that seems like just different. It's weird. And then he didn't put no names on it, but it's like, we've had this talk about discourse about like, it don't seem like anybody that covers basketball or talks about basketball actually likes the players. And then, obviously we've wanted inside the NBA to be the fuck out of here forever. And that's a part of it. It's like, I'm tired of seeing Shaq shit on big men because they aren't as dominant as Shaq. It's like, Shaq, you won the genetic lottery. Like, not all these dudes win the genetic lottery where you can be 7'1", 330 plus pounds, and then like also be able to get like to score 30,000 points. That's not a thing. You're the only person that's ever been that big and ever like even be able to play NBA that long, let alone be great at it. So, yeah, Stephen A. Smith then in response to that was like what?
I think there's another part of this you missing because like they referenced Channing Frye basically to LeBron, giving his direct quotes from because Channing Frye ended up popping up on some show and he said a bunch of shit where I thought he was crying.
Yeah, Channing Frye has a podcast with Richard Jefferson called Road Tripping. It's been around for a while. But I didn't hear any quotes about that because I don't like it's Channing Frye in the discourse and that kind of stuff. Like I don't.
Because that's why LeBron got the question. He specifically got like because like it went basically like Ant, and then Fry was basically like, why wouldn't Ant say this? This is all you do is shit on these people. And then he started talking about Jordan and Kobe and saying shit about Kobe, and then I didn't like that. And then they asked LeBron about it. He's like, this stuff with Jordan and Kobe wasn't as clean as y'all like it, to pretend it was or whatever. Kobe Bryant quit on his team in 2006. It's like he has these specific examples, picked out. And all
Kobe did get shit for that, but there's also another side of where people
I was just about to go to it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Kobe.
I was going to
go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say because Shannon Fry was basically saying like this didn't happen to them or whatever. And I was like, bullshit. Like people called him a fucking quitter for years. This was compounded with you will never win because you're not with Shaq. This is compounded with the Colorado stuff, which is beyond the game. This is also compounded with you will never be Michael Jordan. There's like 4 things working against Kobe right there. And then he makes up pretty much for all of them. Like in Channing Frye, obviously didn't bring that up or anything, but and it was just like it really just seemed like a big LeBron defense, like because he started with LeBron and then he started bringing the other players into it, like Giannis. He's like Giannis is also one of the greatest players of all time. Jokic is one of the greatest players of all time. Curry's, and I'm like, brother, like. And then that's when we were having a conversation the other day. I'm like, these other players, like in these other eras, were not like getting, they were not just, praised blindly by people. Like you seem to be demanding. Like I remember how Allen Iverson got talked about. I remember Russell Westbrook, how he got talked about. I remember Shaq, how he was getting talked about. Tim Duncan's boring. Tracy McGrady, you don't try on the other end of the floor. Vince Carter, you're a quitter. You're a cancer of your team. Kevin Garnett, you're a fucking loser. They can't get out of the first round. You can just go down the list. Like literally the 90s. Hakeem, you're a malcontent because we don't know.
You're a hothead.
You're a temper.
Yeah. Stop getting
there's
fights.
There's like,
and also you might be a black hole when you get the ball in the post.
Charles Barkley, like you're an awful person. Like.
They were right. He just charismatic.
So like, and then the whole thing is like, everybody's just been beating up on LeBron forever, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I think LeBron has plenty of protection in the media. I can name like 15 guys going to bat for him on a daily basis. So like, I don't know if anybody else has created a media empire to defend them at all times. Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, Brian Windhorse, Colin Cowherd,
Windhorse?
Kendrick Perkins. Yes.
You put Windhorse on that list?
Yes. Kendrick Perkins, Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, Dave McMenamin, Gilbert Arenas.
Rich. I'm not saying those guys you named is there. I would not put Windhorse on that list with those guys at all.
And then,
Now, if you want to say, I think you're misconstruing the part where, like, Windhorse got famous because he's the guy that covered LeBron, but as far as like criticisms of LeBron, he's put his foot in LeBron's ass more than enough times. Like LeBron don't even talk to him no more. He hasn't talked to him for like a decade. He's put his foot off in LeBron's ass.
And
like
then,
that shit. Like remember the Lucas shit during the finals when Windhorse put his foot off in Lucas' ass. He's done that about LeBron. Maybe not as like on camera right during, not like during the right after the finals, but he's
goes
done that
under the radar.
His writing.
And then like every LeBron teammate from the past decade, as far as the eye can see, I guess you can add JJ Redick into this. He was a part of the media before. Every LeBron James teammate, as far as the eye can see, has a podcast going to bat for him too. So it's like who's shitting on you at this point, LeBron? Like, there's one side that's giving it to you, and then there's one side that's defending you. So it comes with the territory. Stop crying, like, is what I'm saying.
My point wasn't necessarily about a LeBron thing, but my argument would be saying, like, hey, if this dude is the guy with the unquestioned best career in the history of the sport, it's kind of weird that, like, half of Twitter or half of, like, the space of that watches basketball, like, got shit to say about him. It's weird. Now, if you want to say, if you want to say the internet is this place where, like, we take people's fringe ideas or what do you call it? Not observations, their wants, their needs, their feeds into, like, the what do you call it? The id, where, like, they wouldn't actually say this stuff to this person or whatever else. Sure, that's fair, but I would say, like, these people go on the internet just like everybody else, and, like, they're not from this era where, like, they never had the internet to where they can just ignore it. Like, these kids, or LeBron in past and after that, like, all they don't know how to, I can just turn the show off, I don't care. Like, they can't do the code where it's like, yeah, I had a time when there was no Twitter, I can just turn the show, I don't care. Like, LeBron's in that age where it's like, yeah, I got social media, I had a MySpace, I had a Zanga, I had a whatever, I had a Black Planet. Like, whereas, like, yeah, this is a thing as a part of life. Like, it's not so easy to turn this off. And, like, that's an issue with these, with youth in this situation where, like, social media, like, has warped people's minds because, like, it spreads so negatively that, like, in a sense that's negative, sticks with you more. And that's how that works. So, like, yeah, they see praise or whatever, but, like, this is the kind of shit that happens. Like, bro, like, my timeline's like, bro, I don't know how many times I have to see, like, people are complaining or free throw merchant Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus defensive cone Jokic are going to be the two MVPs. That's what I see on my timeline once a day. These are two best basketball players in the world right now. Or two of the four. You know? And it's like, okay. Did they have bad games? Neither of them actually had a bad game. You just point out this one little play in the middle of this game where they had, like, where Jokic had a 30-point triple-double and Shai had, like, 37 and 6. That's weird. Like, that is a part of this. And, like, I think LeBron is a person to be like, hey, man, like, I understand, like, I got this stuff, but, like, I didn't do anything to actually piss people off. Like, the Stephen A. Smith thing, still talking about, like,
you don't think he pissed people off in his career?
No. He didn't do anything that's worth being pissed off about. No. He wasn't like, Stephen A. Smith talking about he wasn't a dunk contest. No. He said to, during this whole thing, because he mentioned all media. I think mostly he's probably talking about, like, inside the NBA. Stephen A. Smith then took it in to be about, I've had talks with LeBron off TV, therefore I know how he feels about this, so I'm going to feel personally attacked by this. And then I'm going to say, like, LeBron and his crew don't like when I mentioned that I think he's the same best basketball player of all time. It's like, okay, he's entitled to his opinion. He has the best career of all time. Whatever. But I don't think he's talking about Stephen A. Smith. I think Stephen A. Smith's a hit dog hollering. And also it's like, okay, so when it comes to this stuff with LeBron, it's like, okay, you said that his point in rebuttal to that was, Stephen A. Smith was, you went to Miami, which then meant that the owners were going to hammer the player union and make up a new CBA. And I was like, so, wait, so we are faulting LeBron wanting to, in free agency, switch teams for why they took 7% of the basketball-related income from the players? That sounds like you fell for the propaganda of a money grab and blamed it on the players as opposed to the greedy owners. Like, some of this stuff is just weird. What did that free agency? As opposed to actually talking about the players, like, in the way they play or, like, the things they do or whatever. Like, if you have an issue with LeBron going to Miami, fine. You have an issue with Durant moving to Miami, fine. Like, when this thing has happened where, like, we invalidate people's accomplishments because of, it's just weird to me. They've
been doing this forever. This is not new to these people.
Right. My point is, you would think that we would learn a lesson like, yo, that sucked when we did this to Shaq, Kobe. Iverson, instead of being like, well, my favorite player got that done to them, I'm going to treat everybody else unfairly too, as opposed to growing up, being mature and being like, yeah, that's something my favorite player went through that. I hope these other guys in the future have to go through that as well. Like, I've always been when this came to this stuff. It's like, why does everybody it's like, I went through the hazing, so like, they have to go through the hazing too. It's like, so you just want the world to just be fucked up forever. You don't want to make any kind of impactful change. Okay, fine, got it. I understand not one person can change all that kind of stuff, but it's like, that mindset of like always going into that is like, this is how the toxicity not only just stay the same, it gets worse, progressively worse. Like, when people keep going to these videos of like watching games of like trying to figure out like when flopping started, and they're going back to show pictures like Reggie Miller and Dennis Rodman, and it's like, yeah, man, I was alive for that. I knew they flopped in. I didn't know. I know that it wasn't actually Europeans that created this and infected our beautiful American basketball with this. That was all this bullshit in barbershops. You ain't got to convince me. I knew that. But but I keep seeing it on my time. I'm just like, yo, this is. I don't know what it's got to do with you wanting to watch people be great or watch a team be great or watch like your team. I just don't see. I see how you fall into it over else or from time to time. But like, when's the point where people look back and be like, you know what? Does this help me enjoy the sport more? Maybe for some people it does. I think maybe it does. It builds up like the hero villain thing, who you like, who you don't like. But at some point, you actually have to like what or hate what what these people do when they come on the court. It don't seem like anyone's ever interested in that. It's always like this transactional
I don't know, man. Yeah, because it's I kind of. Hold on, let me finish it. I'll let you have it because for a long time because I've taken the mic for a long time. It feels like this discourse stuff of Face the League is like another part of this shit of like it's in the way of all this stuff to talk about aside from the games. Like when Cheney was like, yo, we're talking about this right now, and Steph scored 56 last night. What? And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Like, one of the greatest players of all time, like, at the end of his career, at a time we don't think he could do this anymore. He had a very slow start to the year. His team was shit. He has a new lease on life, and he dropped 56 last night. It's just on the ticker. It's in the people. The other part is like Ant couldn't jump up and say I am with the face of the league because he knows he's not good enough right now to be the face of the league. Like he knows he's not the best player. He's not going to be the best player in the league.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he's American too. So it's like there's a whole like thing of people being nervous. There's no American player like to
that's
go
another
there.
Part of this shit that's in the way. Why do you care what country they're from? We've talked about this before, right? Go ahead. Go ahead. Because
But like, as far as like, question if people like the players, I don't know if the players have necessarily given people a lot to like about them.
I think they've shut down.
What you mean?
I think they see that stuff and like, oh my God, these people do not like me. Well, they'll put on that thing. Well, fuck you then. They'll go full Russell Westbrook their whole career.
Yeah, because it's like
everybody says Russell's a great guy. Give me one good interview he's ever done. He's never fucked with the media. He never wanted to do that shit because he knows it. Because he knows they was gonna tear his ass apart based on the way he plays, and they did. He was right. But everybody that knows him is like he's a great guy. And then you hear about the community stuff he does, or whatever. He is a great guy.
Teammates,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody ever played with vouch for him is that's a great dude. He was right, but he's like, I know when it comes to this other shit, they're going to fuck it up, and they've been right. Even while he's had stretches where he is a bad decision maker at times in games. He does have some of the most ugliest turnovers that you're like, yo, how are you this gifted half the time, and then for like 5 seconds, almost like you glitch, right? He was right about his whole approach to all this shit.
And like you think about like, all right, the money's exploded in a certain way. I'm sure that builds up a certain amount of whatever, and then it's like,
but not the owners.
I mean, people don't watch the owners own; they watch the players play.
They watch they watch their owners take sledgehammers to their local team every fucking year.
Well, it looks like as far as like all the player movement and all that over the last decade, like that's been, that's largely been player led. So like that's like, you'd be like, man, there's no more like long term teams that are getting blown up. Essentially, these there's yeah.
I mean, they blew up the Thunder.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
they could have rolled that out for a whole nother year without any ramifications of going into luxury tax. They weren't even close to it. They could have ran it back one more year, blew it up prematurely.
And I think like some of this also has to do with the league kind of being so. It's almost like it's a fantasy GM league, like where it's like, all right, we don't even talk about players like they're players. We talk about them like their contracts, and then like. Every draft pick is so scrutinized. Every trade is like has 1 million draft picks in it to do all these. This has been like the wildest time I can remember, pretty much from, I would say, from Kevin Durant on, as far as
Durant
how guys
are switching. Or Durant showing up in the league.
Durant showing to the Warriors. Sorry.
Okay.
Like 2016 going forward with like these mega trades with like 7 draft picks in them, and like guys just switching up, going coast to coast and stuff like that. It really breaks, I think, the, and then like the all the, you can add the jerseys and the brand identities for the teams. Like a lot of that stuff gets broken, and it's just like they're not going to get it back. The All-Star game has gone to hell under the last decade, where that's like that's a moment for the fans, they say, but it ain't, because it's a whole nother thing or whatever. So like, I don't know, man. Like I think this shit's gonna be how it's gonna be at this point. And like I can understand guys like feeling like they don't want to deal with that and all that, but it's been part of the game in some form or fashion back to the 70s, to let Bill Simmons tell it.
I mean,
he's participated in it.
That is true. The difference is these guys make so much money now where they can actually say, fuck you, I'm not doing it. And I think that's the thing. I think now we're coming to the point where when it comes to mental health and these guys, for the sake of their like mental, it probably is the best approach to basically handle what would Russ do, right? Handle it as such and be like, screw you, I'm going to take my $800,000 game check and go home. Because they're about to make like $800,000 per game now, So, like, but back then,
that's going to lead to more.
What I'm saying,
it's only going to get more.
But my point is, like,
and somehow the NBA convinced NBC to give them like $11 billion. So it's like you got all the money now. So like,
like my point about this is like when it comes to the face of the league stuff or whatever else, I feel like now we are in like unintended consequences. Like if you can bring up the Kobe stuff, I feel like you can bring up the Kobe stuff. Sure, Kobe had a rape trial. Like that is not the same as like, oh, like why does LeBron have his son on the NBA team? Like, we wouldn't have cared about what the 15th slot in the NBA was 20 years ago. Like there's
they did kind of make it a public thing that was a known charade through draft manipulation, and then like rolling it out opening night. They made a thing.
But why did
they made it a thing?
Why did it become a thing? Because he's the face of the league now.
Because LeBron James and Clutch Sports manipulating the league.
No, man. No. What I'm saying, okay.
Telling people not to draft him, that's not manipulating the league.
Okay.
Go to Australia.
How many stories have we heard about players and agents doing that, not sending over medical records to teams, and to keep them from getting drafted, their player drafted to the spot? That's not some new thing. He didn't invent this.
How many of these people? How many people own a sports agency in the middle of their primes or the middle of their entire careers and set it up for their son to do this? While you're pulling the strings?
How many people would have done it if they had the money to fund it? That's the better question. Like, a lot of this stuff comes to, like, the same thing when it came to Durant and the Warriors, right? Like, LeBron does the Heat thing, right?
Breaks the competitive balance of the league.
He puts the they put the hammer to that Heat team, right? Durant does it. It's even more lopsided than that one ever was. You actually had a chance to beat the Miami Heat. You had zero fucking chance ever to beat the Thunder if they were, the Warriors if they were healthy. He got shit. He didn't get nearly that amount of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's this thing where it's like, LeBron has been, I don't want to say trailblazing because I don't think it's that important, but like, he's been the first to do these things. And then it's like, after time goes by, it's like, oh yeah, that shit don't fucking matter. We were all tripping. Like, this, like that Bill Simmons paperback version of the book of a book of basketball, bro. LeBron was finished back-to-back MVPs. He leaves him at 20, and then I think his last sentence on that part is like, "As a fan, I can never forgive you." Flash forward a decade later, yeah, the fuck you did. You put him number 2. Like, that's the kind of dramatic stuff we've done with when it comes to being face of this league. It's like, you can never forgive a stranger that didn't commit a crime. Like, you don't think this stuff just sounds weird. You're just a fan. Like, I don't get I just don't get this kind of stuff when it comes from like fans that are like fanatics. I get it. You're in the media. You're supposed to be responsible.
I mean, these fans are being activated by the people that are being named earlier. When Nick Wright is like just shitting on Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant just for a decade, like there's gonna be a comeback for that. Shannon Sharp, Kendrick Perkins.
Why are they shitting on those people?
To establish their point about the guy they like.
They're shitting on people in response to Skip Bayless doing this shit 15, 20 years ago, saying LeBron James ain't shit, and it's been spiraling ever since then. It's all a feedback loop of the original sin. The original sin is, why are we shitting on this dude who looks like he's gonna be fucking awesome that was 18 years old? And I'm not even trying to get into this specific LeBron thing. It's like, there's gonna be people after him that they're gonna shit on. And they're happy people shit on. We shat on Durant. Like, Durant's one of the 15 greatest basketball players of all time. Does it feel like we celebrate Kevin Durant that way? No.
We really shouldn't. There's not really a ton to celebrate about Kevin Durant.
Let's move to Durant. Do we feel like we celebrate Steph Curry like he's one of the 15 greatest basketball players of all time? Because I don't feel like we do.
No, because there's an entire media landscape of people I just named that resent him for winning LeBron James's championships that they thought were entitled to him. That's why.
Rich.
And Kevin Durant falls under that.
So you get my point about how this whole entire media system is irresponsible. That's my whole point. The original sin is LeBron sucks. People pop up to say, no, actually LeBron doesn't suck. Those guys suck. And then other people that came behind him are like, actually no, LeBron does suck because there's Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, and then those people that were fighting the Michael Jordan thing saying, actually, you know what? Kevin Durant and Steph Curry suck. It's a sick cycle. This continues. This is why I don't like this shit. This is why I've always hated these fucking debate shows. I've always hated them. And they still have more timeline when I'm talking about the debate shows and how much they suck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the only thing that lasts is the narrative. Look, the only thing that lasts is the narrative.
Right. So it's like, and then also there's a point where, like, you know, it feels like, because of how this is going, they talk about the way the play is going, is that third. It seems like people, like, it feels like it finally caught up to it, but like, it feels like this stuff has affected the way people perceive the sport. It doesn't help.
Does this not happen in any other? Look, does this not happen in any other sport?
So for example, you mentioned the part about like guys not caring about the All-Star game, whatever else. No one gives up. They're playing flag football in the Pro Bowl, and they're doing skills competitions, but it don't affect the NBA or it don't affect the NFL. The ratings get bigger every single year.
I think I have a clue of why, because I think I'll just use football and baseball as examples, right? Mm-hmm. And with football, I think it's going to lean more towards the physics of everything, right? Where people just wouldn't think to dare compare them just based on the size and everything. Like, hey, it's fucking dumb. Like to argue otherwise, and you have like no credibility. Now in baseball, a lot of this has the way baseball was when we grew up. It wasn't the most scientific thing in the world. It was big motherfuckers trying to hit the ball out the park. And that's come around a little bit more. But it moved to a strategy-based game. Like, towards...
But it was always a strategy-based game. It just, we figured out the more efficient way to move the strategy.
Everybody became the Rays, essentially. Like, so, like, people can't like necessarily be like compare it, right? But in basketball, I think it's a blend of the two. It's like, all right, the size, like people aren't looking at heights, like everybody's still the same size roughly, like give or take some weight.
Guys are heavier now.
Yeah, like, but not like to where like people would notice it or anything. So like, it's like, all right, you're 205, you would have been 195, like you'd have been 10 pounds either way.
I think average weight has gone up 10 pounds, or it did at some point. It may have gone back down because there's less centers. I used to try. I used to look at this thing on the year-to-year thing on Basketball Reference.
And then like strategically, like it's also like shifted as well. So
it's
like
over people's heads. That's another part.
So,
that's the part that I will agree with. Like, I think I think out of any other sport that people play people play recreationally, right? Or even like played to a certain level, basketball was a sport where like it was this, and there was few changes, and like you knew what good defense looked like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's totally changed because of 3-point shot, and people do not understand that, and still are like, what? Are still like, why are they dropping? Why are they ice? Why are they going under screens? It's like you just
get up on them.
You don't get it, and that's how you get people. And that's how you get people saying that kind of shit all the time, right? It's like, but there are places that will
So
tell.
I think I was saying, I think basketball is in that sweet spot between like both, like why baseball and football don't get compared the same way. You never hear someone bringing up someone like Ken Griffey Jr. and comparing them to like, Byron Buxton or like, Aaron Judge and Barry Bonds. Like, they know it's ridiculous. They'd be like, hold on, no.
But then it would always be like, Babe Ruth is the greatest baseball player of all time. It's like, yeah, I don't think so. I think he might with more talent in the actual sport that wasn't like, segregated out. I think actually maybe he still does whatever else, but like his numbers are less legitimate.
Right, like you're not like comparing like Hank Aaron to Ohtani or something like that. It's just like a different thing. Like people don't even do they don't do that.
Left-handed Dominicans was Babe Ruth facing.
Right. And then football, the size gap is so big, and of course, strategy in football has changed too. I'm not saying that, but I think in basketball is the best blend of both.
You just meant like flat out physicality.
Yeah, it's like it has the best blend of both to make people think they're watching the same thing. It's like, nah. So like when we were talking the other day, like I told you, I don't really think about who would beat who. I kind of think about who was better against comparatively their time. Like that's kind of what I think.
That's what I do too. I don't like these people that do the whole like this person had this game or this type of game, whatever else. Therefore, he was like, nah, bro. Like that's not how that works. And also like, some of that stuff don't actually matter that much as y'all claim it to matter. But the thing for me is just like the era stuff, whatever was, I think, that's how I rate players or historically is like, all right, how good were you relative to the competition you played? So for me, it's like, that's how I can always do. Cause it's like, I don't know what, like when people do like, Michael Jordan, he would have developed a 3-point shot. It's like he played in the league almost all his entire career with it. He never really got better until like the second three-peat. That's not true. There were people that actually did get better at 3-point shooting. He didn't. So this ain't true.
I sure would have loved to see mid-2000s Kobe Bryant in anything but the slowest pace basketball in the history of the recorded sport. I sure would have loved to see it, James. Averaging 35,
Well, handshaking went in. When did handshaking change? 04? 05?
Yeah.
04.
Yeah. 04, 05 season.
Yeah. Another is like it's just for me. It's just like. Everybody got shit, right? Everybody had foul shit written about them. I think this stuff is like, now it's like, it's not just the beat reporter at a particular paper, now it's like, it's on fucking ESPN. And it's literally like being from the top down. It's not from the outskirts up now, Like, so that's the part for me that I was like, guys all had the shit they had to do with. Now stuff is like, yo, there's absolutely a TMZ-ification of like the sports star, and like I'm not ready just to concede that like we should be engaging in this, even though we've been doing it for a decade or more than a decade. I still find it to be kind of gross.
20 years.
Like I still find it to be gross, and like my part is like people are like, oh, you know, it's like even people our age, like it's like I don't. How are you guys okay with this?
That's the way it's always been.
In barbershops, not on TV. That's what I keep saying. This stuff wasn't happening like that. Like, I just do not like this whole idea that, and because it's like my players like the part that I'm fighting against, or not fighting against, but like my part that I'm hesitant to is like, all right, if you're allowing this now, where are we going to be when our kids watch this shit? Are you even going to want to watch it? Like,
probably not, because it won't be no American face of the league.
Oh God.
To bring it back. It won't be nobody that looks like them. It won't be nobody that reminds them of themselves. John Morant wanted to play with guns, James. That's what happened to him. Zion Williamson couldn't stay away from porn stars and gumbo. You know?
Like, look, man, I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you. I got jokes. So this kid hit three people. Like, I gotta tell you, like, point guard that was out that could, you know, that couldn't dunk without throwing an alley-oop, and you end up 5'9", you never got taught on that. You wasn't gonna be able to rate LeBron James or Kevin Durant ever anyway. They 6'10", they 6'10" and 6'8" and shit. Like, and they played above the rim. I'm sorry, man. Like that, you know, like it's just so weird to me. Like, like remember like as it was happening, right? People were just downing Giannis left and right on the court. This was at least on the court.
I remember that.
I was like, no bag. I'm like, he scored 50 to close out the finals when his knee bent backwards 2 weeks ago. This should never be a conversation ever again.
They should have on him. They like he's got everything you want. He plays hard as fuck, loyal to his team, good guy, funny. You know, like better.
The only thing you can say about him is
video game stats.
Right.
Sometimes some of the stuff he says is weird, but you chalk that up to him not being from here.
Well, I was going to say, the only thing you can say about him of late is like he will lean on his friend. He will lean on the Bucks to pressure him to do what he wants by saying like, hey, maybe I will go into free agency. Maybe I will, you know, do that in third. There is no saying it's a failure. Just like,
look,
all right, you're a psychopath.
And after a decade at this point, you got it. And the title.
Yeah.
You got it.
Right. Like, and the thing for me is like, do you not remember what this was? It's kind of like Steph Curry crossed with Hakeem Olajuwon. So we're like, bro, when did he pick up a basketball? How poor was he?
Yeah.
He was a developmental pick. He was a developmental player. He was never supposed to be here. He's a Nigerian from Greece. What's that? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a fucking movie. And people, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's all types of stuff like that. Like, I just do not fundamentally, just on general principle, do not like the way we've talked about players and all that kind of stuff. And like, yeah, I do understand the part where like, yeah, I would like for them to have to care more in the All-Star game, right? Like, yes, I'm aware that like the All-Star game guys didn't actually play 100% unless games were close in the fourth quarter. I watched it. I grew up. I'm aware of that. I don't like where it's going. I don't like the player management stuff or the low management stuff. But like that shit ain't on the players. That was a top-down mandate from ownership / the office, and like the players are the ones that get the shit. The players want to play. That's how they made it here. The players get protected from themselves, and then they also get blamed for that shit. It's like, all right, man. Obviously, there are exceptions. I get that. But by and large, like what this got to do with the Spurs basically saying, we finna play the Miami Heat on James Boyd's birthday in 2009, and we finna sit every single motherfucker. We finna sit Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker on national television. That happened. And then the next game, what did the Heat do? They set LeBron and them down because they were whipping it out in front of each other and playing games. And then but LeBron's the one that's Mr. Load Management. He's played more games than anybody. Played more minutes than anybody. He's a load man. Okay. We really thought it was Tim Duncan, but no one says about Tim Duncan. No one cares. I don't think Tim Duncan did shit for this because it extended his career and he was great longer than he otherwise would have been. But, like, I just think all this stuff is like, all right, when it comes down to it, it's always like, not always, it comes down to like, yeah, man, it just feels like people resent the players. And I'm tending to be pushed back when it seems like it is a general point. It's like, it seems like we're resenting the players. And it's like, there's a black league and these players getting resented. I'm going to be like, hey, man, y'all might want to rethink this. I don't like how this sounds.
I gotta say, man, like, in the old days, again, they was a little bit, it slipped out a little bit more. It's a little bit more identifiable, the racism. These are like good kids, largely, that are coming in. They don't talk about them the same way. They're not calling them nappy headed or something like that. Like they're like,
I'm talking about how they dress, like they dress like thugs.
Yeah, they sound, if anything, they talking about how they dress fruity or something like that. like you at a fashion week or something. Like they ain't calling
they don't be doing this. Now this is separate. This is not actually like the media thing. Social media, bro, they be like talking bad about Shay and how he dress with the fashion shit. Cause he does like, there is some Seth Rollins-ism in the way he dresses, like fashion show shit. Like
there is.
I don't love it. And like his new conference came out, it's like, oh, those are knockoff AI4s. Whatever.
That shit ain't fly. Like, that shit don't look fly to me. Like, I'll say that.
It don't look fly to me, but it's like, hey man, get your shit off. You look, you averaging 30. You can dress however you want. It ain't for me to understand. He dressed like he a YN. I'm not a YN no more. I'm not gonna be. I'm doing like, oh man, that's beyond me. If he like it, whatever. I think it look kind of crazy, but I'm not about to harp on it. I'm not about to make it like a part of assassinate his character if he fails in a big moment. Yeah, bro. The second he has a bad game, they finna be like, he was too busy trying to throw their outfits in and trying to get the basket in the bucket.
I'll say this:
or get the ball in the basket.
He better not lose no Game 7 and then come to the press conference wearing some bullshit. I'll say that.
The West Walker.
He better have a fucking black suit in the back ready just in case. You
know what? This wasn't on LeBron, but you remember after Game 1 of the 2018 Finals with the J.R. Smith shit? Remember he wore that suit that had the shorts?
Yes.
And he had the bag, and it's like, luckily he wasn't the gun. He wasn't the reason why they lost. JR was, but like he had to answer a question on the HR behalf, and he had to walk off, and he had walked off. He took that fucking bag off and take that bag down the aisle to walk out the press conference, and he got them shorts on. I know he was like, man, I wish I didn't wear them shorts this day. I didn't know this is gonna be a real tense press conference where I had to storm out wearing some fucking hot shorts.
Was Channing Frye on that team still then?
Yeah, he was on. He was on that 17 and 18 team. Yeah.
Funny, he talked about Kobe Bryant not shooting at a critical time. Seem to have missed that one. But whatever.
I don't remember him having a 3-1 lead in that game, in that series, but
look, even then,
I never even got mad at Kobe about that. Like, I never got mad. I was like, hey man, like, he played his heart out. He played great. His teammates sucked. He said, you know what? I can't win. Whatever. Fuck it. I never got mad at Kobe about that.
Look, I would have quit too on them niggas. They was down 15. He had 23 in the first half.
That was my feeling. That's why I never got mad about it. Because it was like, do you not watch this?
But he had to wear it.
Do you not see him bang on Steve Nash? He banged on a nigga. Like, he talking about stuff. Yeah. Do you hear LeBron?
Look, bro.
I was like, do you see?
I forgot.
Rich. Did you see Kevin Garnett talk about when LeBron dunked on Mark Williams a few weeks ago? Because he was with Tony Allen. Like,
I saw some clip recently.
Bro, he basically like he talked about. He's like, bro, he's like, he banged on nigga at 40. Like niggas ain't respecting the game. Niggas don't know what it's like to be 40 and bang and to be able to do that kind of stuff. And I was like, bro, because I was thinking to myself like, yo, bro, Kobe, like, just like that. Kobe banged on he banged on Steve Nash off a fucking tip. Off a tip. That shit was nuts.
Yeah,
he was
all I heard was how Kobe Bryant couldn't make it out the first round and shit. Like, I'm like, all right, man, you make it out the first round. Look, you make it out the first round with that roster against the Suns.
That's the thing I talk about when it comes to this stuff. Is like, we criticize these players. Like, bro, that team's not good enough. They traded away Shaquille O'Neal, and then they didn't make the playoffs, and he was great then. And then next year they made the playoffs, and the year after that he made the playoffs. Like, I just don't. That's what I mean as far as like the unfair treatment. Like, Kobe was one of the first people that I realized, like, yo, they're not. This is weird. Like,
you know, Pau Gasol is the sole reason, they won the 2010 NBA Finals. James.
Well, he's the sole reason why they won not sole reason. Well, he's the biggest reason why they won Game 7.
He should have been Finals MVP according to some.
Fuck out of here.
I'm like, yeah, while averaging 10 points less than Kobe Bryant for the series, okay.
But that's my point of getting to the over criticism stuff. It's like, people do this stuff. It's like, you're a threat to Jordan, so therefore we got to start nitpicking or whatever else. And like, then what happened was the Kobe fans, they were like, all right, oh, this LeBron guy's has at every single point in his career has been better than Kobe. All right. Watch where us and the rest of the Laker fandom take it. And boy, they took it to the point where now we're 22 years in and we're still doing it. That's my point.
Look, you taking it there, we taking it. Hey, you taking it there, we taking it further.
Oh God, thanks.
You don't want to do.
Thanks, Freeze. Like, I just don't. I get it to be. It can be interesting, can be funny at times. It's probably to be like, all right, let's see what like these prominent like discourse things are, and like let's see if we can if we deconstruct it, like, does it actually hold up? And most of it doesn't, right? When it comes to this nitpicky stuff. And that's why I'm like, so ultimately, what are you trying to prove? Like, are you trying to actually find the truth, or are you just like, you just want to go to wave pom-poms for your people? And it's like, for me, it's like, I've like all these, I don't have like favorites. Like, there are people I think are better, but like, I don't actually like one more than the other. And then in a lot of cases, like, there are people that are like, I like this person more than the other, but I'll still rank whatever. I have a problem ranking, so whatever. So it's like, sometimes I'm just like, am I just a feelingless robot or whatever else compared to everybody else? Like, I don't know. It's weird because like, I like Kobe, like Iverson, like I like Vince Carter until he, threw his career away as a top star, but whatever. It's just hard for me to be like, how do y'all, I'm talking about the same sport y'all are. Y'all seem to be just passionate. Why are you wasting your time with this nonsense? It's like, so when these conversations happen, it's like, y'all don't realize this is another part of the nonsense. It's almost like you don't realize that being homophobic or anti-Semitic is a tool of white supremacy. You don't realize how much time you waste with this bullshit. Throw it all away. Fuck that whole tool over there. It's a Swiss Army knife. Don't use any of it.
Yeah, I will continue to dedicate my time and days to the defense of the Kobe Bryant legacy, and we are going to set the correct narrative.
The correct narrative
about Kobe Bryant. So that shit that I found this week. That's all timer. Look, that's all timer. Look, that's all timer for the cause. Well, hold on. This nigga was doing what in 2006? Like with the on off numbers. Like, hold on, what? Like, I gotta add that one in. I didn't know that. Like,
wait, what happened?
Well, I was talking about the on off numbers. So, like in 2006, the Dallas Mavericks had the best offense in the NBA. They were scoring like 110 points per 100 possessions or whatever, right? So when Kobe was on the floor, they had the same, it was like virtually the same offensive rate as the Dallas Mavericks, right? Yeah.
And then when he was off, how bad was it?
So the Blazers had the worst one in the league, and they were scoring around like 100 points per 100 possessions or something like that, right? The Lakers with Kobe Bryant off the floor were scoring 91 points a game. So they were like negative 20. And then they said that is a greater differential on and off than Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James have ever had in their careers. Like, Kobe by himself on that 06 roster was like the best. And when you take him off, they're 10 points worse than the worst team in the league. I didn't know it was that bad.
I knew
it was bad.
The on-off stuff you can with individual players, like the MVP candidates, like there's always one guy that has like a number like it was like when they're on the floor, it's like, oh, their team in general, and all totals for the season, like they're 5th or 6th or they're somewhere in the top 10. They're not number 1. And then like when they're on the floor, they're number 1, and then when they're off the floor, they're like they have the same average as the worst team. Like that's been Jokic for like the last half decade, seemingly.
Yeah,
I feel like every single year you hear a stat like that, and I've heard stats like that about LeBron. Not that exact one, but like of that ilk where it's like on floor, off the floor, it's ridiculous. So yeah, like Kobe was absolutely one of those guys. Like I didn't need to know that stat. Like I watched it, I saw how, you know what I'm saying? Like Kobe Bryant from 2006 or 2005 through 2000. Let's say 8 or 9, like that was like one of the very best basketball players I've ever seen. Like I'm glad there are stats that back that up, but like my eye test told me that. I saw him average 40 for a month. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was that same season. Yep.
Yeah. Like I saw him score 62 on a playoff Mavericks team in 3 quarters and laid it down because the game was out of hand. I saw him score 81 points. Or I didn't see him. Like, I woke up to find out he scored 81 points. I couldn't fucking believe my eyes. Like, another perfect example, right? Kobe 81, right? Devin Booker 70. Luka 70 last few years. Bro,
don't register.
When Kobe scored 81, that shit was a topic of SportsCenter for a full week. A full week. Obviously, that had something to do with the downtime because that happened in between
the NFC Championship,
the title games and the Super Bowl, so it was dead time. But like that was a whole thing for a week. Motherfucker scores 60 or whatever else, and it's like, oh, B block of the show. We got to talk about the face of the Steph Curry. One of our greatest ambassadors in history of sports scored 56 in year 17 or whatever else, 18 or 17 or 18, and. They also got, just got Jimmy Butler trade. They've been playing great. They look like a threat to win a series or whatever else. Nah, let's talk about face of the league. Some imaginary shit, not the actual games.
Right. Like we be talking about face of the promotion and it's shit like that.
It's wrestling. Like it's wrestling, Rich. Yeah. And it's a real sport.
Yeah. Like I couldn't imagine them doing a face of the NFL thing. It's like,
it's a quarterback.
What the fuck? Like, yeah, like no one would do that. Like no one cares. Like,
right?
I don't know.
Like, bro, think of the kind of pitch man that Peyton Manning has been, right? Like last 20 years, we have never had someone close to the face. We have never had somebody be like 1, 2, or 3 for face of the NBA in our lifetime. They had as many playoff disasters as Peyton Manning has. If he was an NBA player, we would have called him a fucking choking dog that luckily won 2, got carried to his last one on his last legs, and then and the one that he did win, he didn't even play well. We'd be talking about he's Jason Tatum. And he's obviously historically he's way better. He's had a way better start his career than Jason Tatum had. But my point is like, oh, well, you were the best. You didn't win Finals MVPs and whatever else. But like, no, Peyton Manning never had some great playoff run to go through 3 or 4 games. It never happened. We see him every single week on Monday Night Football. And his brother. And his brother, right? It's just his weird. Brother. Like, the sports are just weird and different, man. And I don't know what makes it so different.
I don't know, man. Maybe football had it figured out, man. I thought that football was doing a lot of things wrong at the end of last decade and stuff like that.
Didn't matter, right?
It didn't end up mattering at all. Like, and they came out stronger on the other side. And it's like, how?
Right.
Like, and then it's like, well, what are people really connected with? It's like teams. like people feeling connected to these things.
Yeah.
And then
and then what we do, we gonna build, let's build a
things.
CBA to where you can't even keep a good team together anymore.
Yeah. So like
great.
It's gonna be damn if you do, damn if you do. It's a Wild West now, but I did think there was a time where it didn't have to be the Wild West, but we're far past that point now. So, like, I don't know what the Lakers roster looks like in 4 years. Let's just say that. Like,
I mean, did we ever know how far out? Did we ever know that, like, oh yeah, this team's gonna be together for 4 years? Like, outside of like, okay, maybe like 3 guys.
Like, I felt like the Thunder was never going to break up until they did.
I mean,
I thought the Heat were locked in till the rest of their days or
you
whatever.
thought they were all ride it out?
I mean, yeah, like 5, 6, 7. Like they were saying.
Real, beside the joke, for real though, what do you think was? You think they're actually? Do you ever really think that?
I mean, I didn't see why any of them would leave, like, at that point, but...
I mean, whatever. I did once I saw... I mean, after I saw the 2014 finals where I saw Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade combined, they averaged 50 points a game, I was like, he might stay, but he might also leave. That wouldn't surprise me if he left.
That's why LeBron left, not no fucking damn cookies. Like, I ain't taking no rewriting of that history. None. Y'all niggas stunk that shit up. Wade, Bosh...
Bro, remember how good Wade was in that conference finals?
No.
Rich,
it's been...
remember they... Okay, so, that last year, they they low-managed Wade, actually. Like, they took him off games, they were tired.
Yeah.
And then, like, he got to that conference finals against the Pacers, he played great, and then the finals happened, and it was like, just disappeared.
They got their ass kicked in both ways.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Who else? But I don't know. I thought some of the Shannon Fry stuff was like led to. I mean, I think LeBron's comments are different from the ones like that Channing Frye was expressing, because like Shannon Fry kind of like LeBron was reacting to something in his question, so like he probably can see where Ant is coming from, probably knowing Ant. And obviously, I would think Ant, as I said to start his thing, obviously you don't put a target on yourself like that, because had he said, yeah, I'm the face of the league, it would have been like news on, it would have led off everything else. And then it's whoa, is he the face of the league? Is it? And then it would have just been they would have
face
of the league, huh?
They would have mocked him.
When he gets his ass sent home in the first round this year, they'd be like, oh, the face of the league sent home in the first round, huh?
Well, Rich, think of the shit he got over the summer when he was like, the quote is the quote, but when you see the video, you can tell he's joking. When he came out there, he said, yeah, I'm the best guy here at the Olympics. I'm the best guy on Team USA. And then like you see I remember seeing that quote, like, I think we talked about it on the show, and I remember like, let me see let me see the video of it. And I started, oh, he's joking. He's not serious. Get out of here. And that would have been some shit when it was over there if he had actually been like straight face. Yeah, I'm, imagine he said it like he was like in Kawhi Leonard, deadpan, straight laced, like, yeah, I believe I'm the best player on this team. They'd been like, maybe we should have brought Jaylen Brown instead. Another nigga that will never play on Team USA. But yeah, man, I'm out. It just drives me nuts, this talk, because it's like, it does nothing. It's just a negative, because it turns into, well, it's players' fault. Well, it's the fans' fault. Well, it's the media's fault. Well, it's like, nah, man, it's like, everybody took part in this. And like, somebody eventually got, and no one wants to take accountability for it. And it just stinks. Because, I watched the second half of the Nuggets and Celtics game where like Nuggets almost came back on them with no threes. Almost came back on them down 20 and it almost had a 20-point comeback in the second half with not making threes. And it's like, yeah, man, this is a fun fucking sport. I wish more people liked it, like, in a way that's not, perverted. I don't know.
Make sure you guys, we're talking about basketball here, sign up for the Social Suplex March Madness tournament, which is organized by MJ Does PR, the Discord Daddy. You can go into the college basketball section in the Discord to sign up, make your bracket and all that, and get some bragging rights. I think there might be a prize. I'm not sure. I gotta double check on that. And if not, get some good old bragging rights.
Yeah. Be sure to go to the Chop Tees store for One Nation Radio and pick up some merch. If you are listening to this podcast from the stream, which is currently down, so I don't know if I should even be saying
something weird's happening. Go ahead.
Whatever. Still got to say it. Go to show notes for the podcast. Go to our Red Circle link and you can donate there. And be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Wrestling Art with Chris Things, AEW Match Guide. Let's see. Imp's WWE Adventure, Tunnel Talk, and the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Show. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.